To Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Today is our last day this week. Tomorrow we are off because of the holiday, but we will enjoy our Friday nonetheless. We got a lot to get into in today's show. We're going to talk a little bit of basketball. We're going to talk a little bit of football. We're going to talk a little bit of World Cup. We'll sprinkle in some regular drive nonsense, and you know what? I think that makes a show. If you want to chime in, you can always do so. 913-586-7965. That's 913-586-7965. Coming up in just a bit, we'll talk about what I believe is the top story today in sports. We'll get to that momentarily, but first, I need to remind you guys of a couple of things. Number one, as you listen to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. I would greatly appreciate it. And number three, and most importantly, I need you to remember to go stop by and check out our friends over at The Other Place. Maybe tomorrow you can't get out to our station watch party out in Belton, and you're trying to figure out where you're going to watch the game. Well, you know what? With 5 area Other Place locations around town, why don't you stop in, grab yourself a bite to eat? I'm sure they're going to have the United States game on tomorrow. You can stop in, you can watch the game. They'll have the sound on. I'm sure it will be a magical time for those who choose to participate. This is where I would like to start the show today and just begin a little bit differently. Because every time we see one of these, I think it is hard not to go back to this place, at least in my mind. The most fun day that I've had doing this job, and I've been doing this job for a very long time, was that first Royals parade. I remember the emotion. I remember where we were, the level of excitement. Everybody just seemed to be in such a great mood. The weather was absolutely beautiful, and it felt like the perfect cherry on top for how incredible the last 2 years of our lives had been. And I couldn't really see the story going any other way. By now, if you live in Kansas City, you've certainly seen the picture. And to see Union Station filled up in that way, and to see all of that blue, and then you get the Johnny Gomes speech, you get all of these things that happened since then, that has been by far and away my favorite day doing this job. And as I'm watching the Knicks celebrate their championship today, it has been a very, very cool reminder of the real power of sports. It's been a really cool reminder of something that we talked about a couple of days ago is everybody can identify with the feelings that Knicks fans have because at the core of it, they are the embodiment of what sports culture is in this country. You pick a team when you were a kid or you were given a team. Some of you didn't pick the Chiefs. You just grew up in Kansas City. Everybody in your family was a Chiefs fan, so you didn't really have a choice. You then became a Chiefs fan. Some of you moved here and picked the Chiefs. Whatever reason you came to this team or you came to the Royals, you signed a contract, a social contract that you were going to cheer for that team for the rest of your life. And you were going to go through the highs. You were going to go through the lows. You're going to go from Tamarick Vanover to Jovan Belcher to Rasheed Rice to Patrick Mahomes. Everything that encompasses and embodies the Kansas City Chiefs, you have determined that you are going to be a part of it. And the social contract that you sign, in my opinion, that you sign with the team is, I am willing to put up with all of the nonsense, all of the wins, all of the losses, off the field embarrassment, whatever it may be, so you can have just 1 or 2 days in your life like that Royals parade, like the Knicks parade today. That is one of the storylines of all of this. But I know there has been some nonsense and some riffraff around what has happened in New York. We have seen the videos. I believe someone lost their life a couple of days ago. Rest in peace to that individual. I certainly don't want to make light of it. But I also don't want the bad actors, so to speak, or the kids that are simply causing chaos for the purpose of trying to go viral on social media to remove us from what I think the overwhelming story about watching New York City and watching the Knicks championship and what I think it represents. There was a video of somebody in an apartment with a projector. And they hooked their computer up to this projector, and they were showing the game on another building. They were showing on the side of the building. And maybe you've seen this video, maybe you haven't seen it. The street was filled of people who are having their own unofficial watch party in the middle of the street. We laugh and joke about two Americas, but at its core, it's not really a joke. Even though you and I maybe grew up in the exact same place, we did not potentially have similar upbringings. I went to this kind of school. You went to this kind of school. I listened to this kind of music. You didn't listen to this kind of music. You like this thing. You like this thing. Like, there are a lot of things that make us very, very different, even though we come from the same American culture. But one of the things that I think is pretty universal, and one of the things that I think goes across cultural lines to all respect, is sports. Everybody likes sports in our society. You are looked at as kind of weird, especially if you are a man and you don't like sports. Just think about it. If you start to talk to another man, start another conversation with them, generally a safe go-to is about the game last night. You don't have to know anything about this individual. It's just understood you watch sports. And despite all of our differences, and I think we are seeing that there are a lot of things that we are very different on in society, there is one thing that we all come together to do. There is one thing as a society and culture we all come together to celebrate, and it is our team winning. Because no matter where you grew up, and it doesn't matter if you grew up on Prospect or you grew up on Metcalf or you grew up on 153rd and Black Bob, you have the same love and appreciation for the Chiefs. You have the same level of joy and excitement for when the Kansas City Royals win the World Series. So I do think that seeing New York come together in this way and celebrate in that way just reminds us, and what should be a constant reminder, of the true power of sports and how cool it is that we all share in this very, very common interest. Everybody watches football. Everybody loves basketball in various ways, whether it's high school basketball, whether it's college basketball in the NCAA tournament, whether it is the NBA. I tell you guys all the time, I don't know if there is a sport that is maybe more ingrained in American culture than what basketball is. People play it at the parks. People play pickup games. Most schools are centered around their gym. Basketball is in the inner fabric of our country. Certainly football is. Baseball, we call it America's pastime, and going to a game and getting a hot dog and getting a beer. There are some things that are very American. And to bring this to the World Cup, I enjoyed watching another culture celebrate Arrowhead in the same way that we celebrate Arrowhead. It's not like somebody told the Argentina fans, hey, when you're walking down the spiral, you're supposed to make noise and start beating on the side of it. Like, that's just what they started doing. That is very similar to what people do at Chiefs games and how they respond to very big wins. And seeing how excited they were to be at the game, seeing the amount of people that were there at the game, and really taking advantage of one of the most incredible stadiums in America. That's what Arrowhead is. We'll talk as the show progresses how I think a lot of people have had Arrowhead nostalgia over the last 72 hours. And I think it has become very real to some people. Hey, we don't have too many more nights like what we just saw a couple of days ago at Arrowhead. That is not the last great night at Arrowhead. There will be some big Sunday night football games. There will be a big concert. They will do something to celebrate the end of it. but I'm talking about truly ones for the books. I'm talking about days, nights, moments, memories, games that were you had to be there kind of moments. Arrowhead just doesn't have a whole lot of those left over the next 3-4 seasons or so. Tuesday night, that Argentina game, seeing Lionel Messi, seeing the first game of the World Cup, seeing Messi score a hat trick in the game, it was one of those special moments that whenever we do the last year of Arrowhead and we do all of our celebrations and everybody talks about days and moments that they've had at that stadium, for a lot of people, that will be near the top of the list for them, is getting a chance to go to the World Cup at Arrowhead, a place that we all have spent countless numbers of hours at that place, and seeing maybe the greatest athlete in the world do one of the coolest things that you can do at his respective sport. So we'll talk about that as the show continues to progress as well. But Rob, you know what? I want to give you the floor. We have now seen every team participate in the World Cup. Now, we still got more group stages to go. We still got more games here in Kansas City. We got one coming up on Saturday. But as of now, we have seen every team that is qualified for the World Cup play at least one time. I want to hear from you. Who are your overachievers so far in this tournament? I want to hear who are your underachievers so far in this tournament. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Hello. Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spellbook.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one. Because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
At Liberty Mutual, we love helping people with things like customizing car insurance, just like how we customize a song for you. Catered country tune. Liberty Mutual, saving you bucks by protecting your truck. 'Cause Birdie told me to only pay for what I need. Thank you, Limu. I'll always trust in Limu with Liberty, 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 Liberty.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit trulyhardseltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the Pillars of Strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing. Trust the pillars of strength.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
What if everything you learned in history class was only half the story? I'm Dr. Hrini Bhatt, host of Hidden History. Every Monday, I go where history gets mysterious. Vanished civilizations, doomsday prophecies, paranormal phenomena, and events that science still can't fully explain. On Hidden History, I treat these moments like open case files. Not myths, not superstition, just incomplete explanations waiting for a closer look. Listen to and follow Hidden History, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, I hadn't thought about Jovan Belcher in a long time. What a crazy time that was. I understand that is a very extreme example of fandom, but the point of it all is, for most teams, if you cheer for a team, you have seen some things and experienced some things and gone through some things. Now, I understand that there are varying degrees. Like, it is much better to be a KU fan than a K-State fan. KU doesn't win every year, but they win way more times than they lose. But for the most part, if you cheer for a regular team, a non-blue blood like KU is, you're just going to have tremendous highs cheering for your team and tremendous lows of cheering for your team. And honestly, there's going to be more bad days. There's going to be more losses that you remember than wins. Like, some of you, despite how great the Chiefs have been, still strongly dislike Lynn Elliott. Rob, you remember it took probably until 2 or 3 Super Bowls in for us to stop talking about Chiefs scar tissue and you randomly thinking you were going to lose in the first round at home to the Cleveland Browns. Like, it took a while for us to stop having those conversations. It will rain as a sports fan more than it will be sunny. But the hope that the Knicks fans experience, that you've experienced as a Chiefs fan, that you've experienced as a Royals fan and as a KU fan, is for all of the nonsense, for all the FBI investigations, for all of the Rashee Rice car accidents, the hope is that you get to experience that championship parade and being able to say that your team isn't the best at least one time in your life. And think about it. There are a lot of people who cheer for a team for a substantial amount of time who never even get the one. Think about if you cheer for the Buffalo Bills. You've never had your time. Think about if you cheer for the Lions or the Browns. There's a lot of Cubs fans that didn't make it to see their team eventually win a championship. They did, but it took them a long time to eventually get there. So I know whenever a team gets really good, we talk about enjoying the ride. Like, of course, you should enjoy the ride. You only get a couple of those days. You only get to win a handful of big games in your sports fandom. And the odds are you will lose or be on the wrong side way more than you will be on the winning side of it. So when you finally break through and your team does it, you better celebrate. You better be happy. That is the best feeling that you can have as a sports fan. I want to switch gears just a little bit because we are committed to talking about the World Cup on this show. I told you guys, I am treating the World Cup like the Olympics. I don't know a whole lot about it, but for the next however many days, I'm locked in. I'm betting on it. I'm watching it. I'm making it a priority. I am making it a point in my life to watch the World Cup, and I've enjoyed it so far. Now, I hate that I watch these games and ultimately it ends up being a tie and nobody wins and I lose my bet. But other than that, you know what? It has been a very fun and enjoyable World Cup. We are through one round of the group stage. So every team plays 3 group stages. So think about it like an NFL division. And you play every team in your division one time. We see who has the most wins, who has the largest point differential, goal differential, and that's how we determine who moves from that stage to then going into the single elimination tournament. So we are one round of games in. We still got 2 more to go. The United States plays tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So, Rob, what I want you to do is hit a little bit of music, and I want you to talk about the overachievers that you've seen so far in this World Cup. And let's also talk about the underachievers that you have seen so far in this World Cup and who has let you down so far as we have seen all 48 teams play.
Want to start positive or you want to start negative?
However you want to start. You know what? This is me kicking the ball to you. Do your thing.
Let's start with underachievers because there are a couple. Let's start with the obvious one, Spain. I mean,
don't remind me.
That's as bad. I do want to credit Cabo or Cape Verde. I've heard it both ways. They did a great effort to keep them out of goal. But the best player in the world is Lamine Yamal. He came in late. You're the favorite to win the tournament, and you can't get a goal across the line. I don't think it means they're not making the knockout round. I don't think it means that their tournament is over. But Spain, you were playing the second worst team in the field, and you played to a 0-0 draw. That is the
only one that we've had so far in this tournament was the tournament favorite in that game. So, yeah, I'm 100% with you. Cost me $20.
I'll stay in the powerhouse, played to a draw, but we expected more vein with my next disappointment, Brazil. Morocco's a good team. This is not like drawing Cape Verde. I understand Morocco's good. But there was a time in soccer lore where if you were playing a team in that yellow Brazil jersey, you were shaking in your boots. You were knees wobbly. They had an aura, as the kids say. They showed up on the pitch and they had you beat mentally already. We see this in other sports all the time. Remember for a while back in the 90s or 2000s when Duke would slap the floor? Oh, they had you cooked. That's how Brazil was when they walked onto the field. Morocco was not intimidated by that team at all. Morocco played like we're better than you, and we know we're better than you. Brazil has had a disappointing tournament in the last couple runs, and now to come out the gate with a draw, that is early underachieving from the Brazilians, in my opinion.
Okay, so that is your underachievers. So far, you have Spain and Brazil. Both of them played to a tie in the first wave of games. Now let's head to maybe overachievers or biggest surprise, however you want to quantify it.
Okay, I have 3 big surprises. One, we'll start with the United States. I expected they would beat Paraguay.
Not like how they did, though.
Not like how they did. I was listening to Mike Tirico on Pat McAfee show today, and he said it perfectly. It was like Pochettino, the manager for the U.S., decided we are going to beat them and then humiliate them on the international stage. I've seen teams in this tournament choke away a 1-0 lead. The United States was never in fear of choking it away because it was 3-0 at the half. They have a chance to win their group tomorrow. If they beat the Australians, it's high time to be group winners. That is not what the anticipation was. The betting markets had them at plus money to win the group. So they are my first overachiever, or a team that is playing beyond what I imagine. Number 2, Scotland. Now, they get the benefit of the Morocco-Brazil draw, and they played Haiti, so I understand that. But Scotland was a team going into this tournament that people thought maybe they can sneak a 3rd place and get to the knockout round, and, that'll be a nice little tournament for them. Their fans have showed up in full force. They drank Boston dry. They're headed down to Miami to do the same thing there, and they are top of their group, and they looked good en route to being top of their group. So they are my second overachiever so far this tournament.
Okay, Scotland. I'm not mad at that one.
And my final overachiever would be Norway. I thought Norway was going to be...
That's the one with the Holland guy on.
Yep.
Okay.
I thought they were going to be similar to what I just described with Scotland. A Pesky might get out of the group as a third-place team, but they looked really good. And if Erling Haaland with Norway is going to look the way Erling Haaland does when he plays for Manchester City, the tournament could be in trouble. So those are my over and underachievers. I will have this note. France and England played to expectations in their first match. So they don't come in as under or overachievers. I still believe France is the best team in this tournament, and they look great doing it. But it's hard to over or underachieve when the expectations for Mbappe and co. are go win the tournament. They took care of business against the Senegal in match day 1.
So one more time, just for people who might just be tuning in, 913-586-7965. Give me your underachievers, disappointments. Give me your surprise overachievers so far through the first wave of games.
The teams that have disappointed me are Brazil. I thought they would have an aura and allure to just walk on the field and beat people. They didn't have that. Spain, cost Carrington $20. I don't know.
I'm poor now.
Kalshi had them as a 99.4% favorite to win that match. Played to a draw. So if you're a Kalshi person, that's a loss. Those are my underachievers. Overachievers, United States because of how they looked, and then Scotland and Norway.
Text line 913-586-7965. If you want to weigh in on the World Cup, you certainly can do so. I want to play this audio for you guys. So this is Colin Cowherd. He likes to take his over-unders from time to time. Here he is commenting on the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm going to take the under on Kansas City at 10.5. First of all, Mahomes coming off an ACL. Is it possible he won't have the mobility at least early in the season? They have one of the toughest schedules in the league. Go check out their first 7 games and their last 7 games. It is rough. They're getting old in key spots. Travis Kelce, Chris Jones did not have dominating years. I still think, the offensive line, we like at left tackle, but there's a little finger crossing. I think the early and late schedules are a handful. Again, 10-7 means the under hits. I like the Chiefs under 10.5.
I think the Chiefs are probably somewhere in that range. I'd be surprised if the Chiefs had another season from hell where last year I just feel like almost everything that could go wrong for the Chiefs went wrong. I do think they have made some noticeable upgrades and improvements, but I don't know if you can really criticize somebody from having the opinion that the Chiefs are not winning 12, 13, 14 games. If you got them doing that, you got them potentially running away from the AFC. And I think kind of seeing is believing. His point was that their early schedule is really difficult. Did I hear that correctly? Because I'm looking at their schedule. Yes, Denver. Game is at home. Important to note. After that, Indianapolis, Miami, Las Vegas. So there's a chance that I think you're 3-1. I would say at worst heading into that. I'd be a little surprised if they were 2-2 after that stretch. Now, this must be the part that I think gets a little bit difficult. Los Angeles, Seattle, and Denver. And 2 of those 3 games are on the road. Now, the stretch that he is talking about at the end of the season, on paper, I agree. This is a difficult stretch. At Buffalo, at Los Angeles, the Rams, at Cincinnati, home against the Patriots, home against San Francisco, on the road against the Chargers. That's a difficult 6-week stretch. But I think this is very important to note. What the game looks like in May and June is very rarely what that game looks like in November and December. Remember when the Chiefs played a Thanksgiving game and they needed that game to stay alive in the playoff picture? Remember how important we thought Chiefs and Broncos was going to be on Christmas Day? And it ended up being really important for one of the 2 teams, and I don't think it was the team that you would have guessed. The Broncos were still playing for the 1 seed, and the Chiefs were playing for the 9th overall pick at the end of the season with Chris Oladokun as their starting quarterback. So I don't really try to get into the schedule game. I just think it's a fruitless exercise at this point. We're going to be right about some teams. We're going to be wrong about some teams. If I had told you last year Kansas City was missing the playoffs, Detroit was missing the playoffs, and Baltimore was missing the playoffs, you would have told me I was crazy and a hot take artist. And ultimately, that is how the season ended up turning out with Detroit, Baltimore, and Kansas City all missing the postseason last year. So let's just see how things play itself out. But to me, though, at the core of what he is saying, I am not mad at you if you have Kansas City winning 10 games this year. I think picking them to win 8 games is a little bit crazy. I think picking them to win 12 or 13 games is being a little bit overzealous on their ability to bounce back. They are probably somewhere in that 10, 11. A lot of things would have to go right for them to get 12. And if the Chiefs got to 12 games, that meant their defense got good way faster than I think a lot of people are going to predict.
I think whatever your favorite, sports book is, whether it be FanDuel, DraftKings, whatever, I think 10.5 is a properly placed number.
I agree with that.
I think if you have over, you're not wrong. I probably am going to be an over better this year.
I'd be all over 9.5 if that's where.
Oh yeah, 9.5. I'd be pounding the over. But I could see a scenario where you mentioned those first 4 are relatively easy. What if Patrick Mahomes doesn't look like Patrick Mahomes in the first 4? I mean, we last year, I imagine, I could probably pull the audio, me and you were probably, hearty har about the Colts last season. They were supposed to be terrible. They had Daniel Jones. It was all, chuckles. Hey, when they come to Kansas City in November, it's going to be a boat race. Watch out for this one. That game went to overtime, and the Colts barely missed the playoffs, and the Chiefs ended 6-11. So, I agree with you on it's a fruitless exercise. I don't think Chiefs fans, even with the most red and yellow colored glasses listening, can say Colin's a hot take artist. How dare he? Whoever your least favorite media personality is, if they're down on the Chiefs this year, I don't think they are wrong. I think the Chiefs have a lot of wild cards heading into this season that they all break right, they can be back to the Super Bowl. If they all break wrong, they're just marginally better than last season. I think 10.5 is properly placed.
It's funny because I would say for the last 5-6 years, a lot of people have made comparisons between Kansas and the Chiefs and the similarities between the two. Well, I think now you see Kansas bleeds in conference. There was a time in which under no circumstance could you pick another team to win the Big 12. You looked foolish if you picked another team. The public rejected you picking Baylor or Iowa State or Oklahoma State or Oklahoma, or whomever the Johnny-come-lately team was in the Big 12, you look foolish for picking that team. I would say the exact same thing was the case for Kansas City. How dare you pick Tennessee? How dare you pick the Chargers? How dare you pick the whatever team this is, the Broncos? You are wrong if you do this. People haven't been able to walk around with that sort of air of invincibility, that aura around them, since they got punched in the mouth by the Eagles in the Super Bowl. You follow that up with a 6-win season, your quarterback coming off the ACL tear, and now you kind of got to regain some of that. So I think some of this is now a correction. Nobody's afraid of the Kansas City Chiefs anymore, but you just have to build it right back up. One of the reasons, Rob, I think that you and I are a little bit potentially different on the Kansas City Chiefs is there, to me, isn't a team that has taken their spot yet. There is not that team right now that exists. I think that Buffalo is a good team. Buffalo is sitting at the top of the AFC. They've never made the Super Bowl with this unit. So how can they be at the top? The New England Patriots, they, to me, seem like a team that's primed for a regression. The Broncos last year went 11-1 in one-score games. If there is one thing I know, they are not doing that again. Maybe they'll have a good record. They'll go 7-4. Well, that's a 4-win decrease from where you were last year. So what does that mean for you as a team? So some of my feeling about Kansas City is that they are much better at running the football, and I think that is just going to balance their team out much better than where we were last season. I think they are much better equipped offensively this year than they were last year. And the other feeling that I have about Kansas City and why I'm high on them coming into it is they're in the AFC. If they're in the NFC, we'd be having a different conversation. If they're in the NFC West as opposed to the AFC West, where you got the Rams in Seattle and San Francisco, we'd be having a different conversation. But in the AFC, you just got to show me who I should be afraid of in this conference, because there just isn't really a team that I have a lot of fear for. But I don't think that's necessarily just a Kansas City feeling. That's the way that Cincinnati should feel heading into the season. That's the way that Baltimore should feel heading into the season. Buffalo should feel like they got a chance. There is no team in the AFC that should feel afraid of any other team in the AFC.
Let me ask you this for a KU basketball comparison. I think it's a good analogy. Now, I don't feel this way. I put that disclaimer on there, but let me ask the question. I remember when KU KU lost its Big 12 title winning streak, and then they added Houston to the league, and KU was like, oh, that's cute. You won CUSA. You're Houston. You will be in your place. Houston has now won a couple league titles in the Big 12.
Yeah, a couple Final Fours.
Chiefs fans looking at Denver right now like, oh, that's cute. You have an AFC West and AFC title game. Wake me when you do it more often. Is it possible Denver is about to assert themselves as the Houston basketball to the Chiefs Kansas basketball?
Absolutely possible.
We don't know until the second year of data is out.
For sure, 100%. But to what you just said, and I agree with you, is as a KU fan, you didn't respect it until Texas Tech kept doing it. You didn't really respect it until Houston came into the league and started doing it and then beat you in Allen Fieldhouse, and then Tech has beat you in Allen Fieldhouse. And now you got to start taking those teams more seriously. So I certainly understand any Chiefs fan that is thinking to themselves, yes, you caught us last year, but we're back now. We got Kenneth Walker. We've got these things. We don't believe in last year, and you only took advantage of us being down, and now you got to show us again. If the Broncos go out and win the division, I don't know how many times you can keep singing that same song. If the Chargers show an ability to step forward and not just be a good regular season team, but be a good regular season team and a good January team, yeah, we got to start talking about those teams different. But I think you would agree, Rob, one of those two teams is regressing this year. I don't know which team it is between the Broncos and the Chargers, but one of those two teams is going to be noticeably worse this upcoming season than they were last year. The Broncos were the 1 seed and went to the AFC Championship game. There aren't too many steps up the ladder you can go, but there's a lot of steps down the ladder you can go if you are the Denver Broncos. So yes, I do think there is a measure of, I want to see if Denver can do it again. Because when Kansas City was great when they were at the top, they didn't just do it one time. They did it for 7 consecutive years.
For a movie analogy, the rest of the AFC feels like they saw Drago bleed. They're screaming in their corner in Buffalo. They're screaming in their corner in Denver. Well, there are no LA fans. I guess that one woman is in LA screaming in her corner. The Chiefs are a man. They bleed. The Chiefs got to figure out this year if they just got cut by the AFC, for my Rocky analogy, or if they're going to, be in trouble. Because if the rest of the league and the rest of the division and the rest of the conference has caught up with the Chiefs, it will be fascinating to see what happens in the AFC for Mahomes 2.0, 3.0, whatever you want to call it. But in every other city in America, if we call Jeremy White, if we call Mo Egger, they are saying last year the world showed us the Chiefs are a man. They bleed. They are not this behemoth Ivan Drago type of figure.
Text line 913-586-7965. Someone just sent in, Carrington, I think you misspoke. Cleveland, they're the team that should be afraid of everybody. You're right. I'm not even saying that like no, you're right. Almost every team in the AFC, for the most part, should feel like they have a chance. If there's one thing I know, it is that Cleveland has no chance. It is that Cleveland should not see themselves as one of those teams. No, you're 100% right. I want to salute that because you were absolutely correct. You're listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 913-586-7965. Coming up at the top of the hour, I am noticing that a lot of people are starting to have a lot of Arrowhead nostalgia. We'll get to it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5 The Fan.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid at Rob Seid Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Seid Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Seid Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Seid Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, or robseid.com.
Buy right, Rob Seid.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-559-4141. That's 800-559-4141. 800-559-4141.
Performance matters in intimate moments. Don't let ED ruin them. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and I want to assure you that if you're like the vast majority of guys, you don't have to suffer with ED anymore. In fact, you might be pleasantly surprised at how the right treatments could positively impact your love life. At Heartland Men's Health, our advanced medical therapies go far beyond pills. We have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases, and we offer specific and combinative treatments that can dramatically enhance both your performance and your stamina. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a far greater level of intimacy to both you and the one you love, perhaps performing like you haven't in years. So call us today and find out why our advanced treatment strategies offer so much more. Your first visit is just $99 and gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. Heartland Men's Health, advanced medical science to improve men's lives.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
Whoa, okay. This one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Huh. The T-Mobile one says their customers had the lowest wireless bills versus the other big guys over the past 5 years. And their latest experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now or...
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. And right now, bring your phone to T-Mobile and we'll give you $400 when you switch.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 compared to average AT&T and Verizon bills. Comparison excludes discounts, credits, and optional charges. $400 with new account on qualifying line. Unlocked device credit ported 90-plus days with device and carrier. Entirely redemption required. Virtual MasterCard typically takes 14 weeks. No cash access and expires in 6 months. Card issued by Sunrise Banks N.A. member FDIC. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Join us at 96.5 The Fans World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in Belton on June 19th with Bink and Logan starting at 11 and kickoff at 2. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City. Boldly local since 1933.
This afternoon, expect rain showers with a high of 79.
Weather brought to you by Duke's Mayo. Welcome to Duke's Mayo Country, where the mayo is so smooth and creamy, it makes every bite better. Duke's Mayo. Look for the yellow lid.
Follow the station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
Rob, have you ever been invited to something, and in the process of being invited to something, you realize I'm too old to be at that? Yesterday, my friend hit me up, I don't know, maybe it was like 4:30, and was asking if I wanted to go to the Don Toliver concert yesterday. Now, I've heard of Don Toliver before, but Rob, you know where you only hear a song on social media, you only hear a song on Instagram or TikTok, like you don't actually know the song, you never actually tried to listen to the song on your own time, but if you heard the song out, like, oh, I've heard this song before. This was on TikTok or this is on Instagram. That's my entire knowledge. I had to turn it down. And then, I live downtown. So I'm, trying to get situated, trying to get parked, trying to get to my garage so I can then walk up to the spot. And I'm seeing other people that are going to the concert. And I realized then at that moment, I made the right decision. You know what? I'm just going to have a peaceful night here at the house. Watch a little television, watch a little World Cup, went to bed at 10:30, 10:45. Have you ever been in that situation, Rob, where you got invited to do something and then at that moment it just hits you? I don't need to be going to this. I'm too old to be at this.
I 100% have had that. I'll tell you, I had it recently. My younger brother lives in the plaza, and he was texting me that he and his girlfriend were out, and they were going to meet up with some friends. He said, "Hey, are you out? Let's meet up." And I was happening to be having dinner in Crossroads, so I met up. We went to Beckett's. Let me tell you something. I rolled into Beckett's at 9 o'clock at night. I realized immediately I am the elder statesman inside of Beckett's, and I'm done. That is a 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old bar.
I don't need to be here.
I walked in. I ordered a beer. I immediately was like, "Hey, you ready to go? We don't need an Uber. We don't need nothing. I can drive because I can't be here much longer because these kids are 15, 16, 17 years younger than me. I don't need to be a part of this." I enjoy Beckett's. I've gone during the day and watched a game. Great time. But when it turns into the night, it goes into Harpo's like it's 2014, and I don't have that 2014 Harpo's energy anymore. So I know the feeling very well.
No, I'm 100% with you. I mean, shout out to the people that are still in that age range. I want you to enjoy it. I want you
Live
to
it
take
up.
around. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Do all the fun things you can, but just realize that there has come a time where you see all of those kids inside an establishment and you're going to think, I don't need to be in there. Not at all. It's way too much student loan debt in there for me to go in there. That's not where I am in life. I don't need to be in there.
I mean, there was a line of people getting their IDs checked, and I was like, oh, I've made a mistake. I've made a tactical error.
For sure.
I don't go to a place where they check IDs. They just know, hey, you're old. You're old to come in. You're good.
I don't need to be at any place where people born after September 11th are hanging out. I don't need to be hanging out with you guys. I don't need to be in the same spot. I really don't. I've told you the story about my sister. One time we were in the car, and I think an Usher song came on. And I was like, you even heard this song before? She was like, I wasn't even alive when this song came out. I'm like, what? You weren't alive when this came out? And then that just put it. We just shouldn't be hanging out in the same places. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I always laugh with Aaron, and I'm like, Aaron, you and I should not listen to the same music. I'm 37. You're 24. We should not have the same musical taste. I don't want to listen to that kind of music. Sounds miserable. All right, I want to play this for you. I think that this is one of the big stories with the New York Knicks. Now, we've talked about Spike Lee on this show. I do not think that there is a person in American culture who is more associated with a team this side of Jack Nicholson, who is just the Lakers version of Spike Lee. I don't think that there is a person more associated with the championship or with the team than Spike. Well, the Knicks just won a championship, and there has been an online push to try to get Spike a championship ring. Here's the news report.
Something that I've been thinking about a lot today, and a lot of people online as well. Growing chatter to get director and Knicks fan Spike Lee a championship ring.
Actor Kevin Hart started the call on Instagram, citing Spike's front row presence for decades. Television personality Stephen A. Smith echoed the sentiment, saying he thinks it should happen too. Lee has been a season ticket holder since 1985. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame, where he's honored as a super fan. And the team is nothing without its fans. Knicks acknowledged this openly. If anyone deserves it, it's Spike.
And Spike Lee was there through the highs and the lows.
Yes, he was.
And it got low.
And he never doubted them.
Never doubted. Front row the entire time. Yeah, sure. Let's get Spike Lee a ring. Let's get Spike Lee a ring.
So.
I mean, this to me just seems very obvious, in my opinion. Now, I mean, I'm certainly for the Knicks paying for Spike Lee's ring as a gesture, as one of their super fans, and just giving it to him. But I think a very nice gesture for the New York Knicks would be to allow Spike to buy a championship ring at cost. Hey, this is how much it would cost us to get you a ring. We understand that you are not a player. You are not an employee. You do not work here. So we are certainly not obligated to buy your ring the same way that we are for employees of it. But we are very happy to offer you the exact same ring that Mike Brown will get, the exact same ring that Jalen Brunson will get, Josh Hart, Mikal Bridges, all of the guys that are on the team. It'll be your own ring, your name in it. We'll engrave it. You will get all of the same treatment. And when we have a special ring ceremony, because every team has a ring ceremony, you will be more than welcome to come. You just have to buy your own championship ring, which I imagine he would do. Spike does not get free tickets. A lot of those people get free tickets. Taylor Swift did not pay for those tickets. It's just part of the brand for the New York Knicks. They have a group of tickets that they give away. Ben Stiller does not pay for those tickets. They just give them away to people. Obviously, they want you on the camera. They want you wearing Knicks apparel, or they want you to be a big Knicks fan. Spike does not sit on that side, if you notice it. Spike sits on the other side of the court. Those seats are not just given away. You got to pay for those seats. So I don't think the Spike would have a problem if you offered him at cost one of these rings, but I do think the Spike should be given an opportunity to get one of these championship rings. I absolutely think that.
So we see it similar, but a little bit different. I agree Spike should be given an opportunity, but like he should be given an opportunity the same way like the broadcast team is given an opportunity. He shouldn't be getting the same ring as Josh Hart. He shouldn't be getting the same ring. I don't mind it if
they give him the ring, but I see the point you're making, though.
Because, like,
he gets the same ring that Mike Breen gets.
Correct. I just know how it works for the Chiefs. For the Chiefs, you work for the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes gets a ring. Josh Klingler also gets a ring.
They ain't the same ring.
They ain't the same ring. Not even close to the same ring. It's, hey, the PR staff gets a ring, and so does Clark Hunt. They're not in the same tax bracket as different rings. If Spike wants to be in wherever you want to slot him in, or Ben Stiller, or Timothy Chalamet, slot him in.
I think Spike's a little different. I hear what you're saying, though. Spike is different than Timothy Chalamet. Timothy Chalamet, I'm not discrediting his Knick fandom. He's a little younger, though. We're talking about season ticket holders since 1985. That's a little different than Timothy Chalamet just showing up these last 3 years and supporting the New York Knicks. You just got famous and got to the point where they started taking care of you in this way. Spike's been doing this. So if there is any fan in America that deserves to be on that level and get that kind of championship level ring, it's him. He's earned it. But I hear what you're saying. If they just give him the same ring that Mike Breen gets, the same that their television and radio broadcasters, I don't have any issue. But you and I agree. Spike should absolutely be included in their championship celebration. He was today. He was on one of their parade routes. He was on one of the floats. I saw Ben Stiller was a part of it as well. Olivia Benson, Mariska Hargitay was a part. She was on the one with Jalen Brunson.
She held the trophy.
Yeah, she was on the right one to be on. Shout out to Olivia Benson. She was on the right one. But yeah, Spike is in a different category than even Mariska Hargitay. Spike is a part of the team if he ain't a part of the team. Spike is very instrumental in the brand of the New York Knicks. It should be celebrated as so with them winning this championship.
I agree. He should have the opportunity to get a ring the same way like the ambassadors for the Chiefs. Like if he wants the same ring that Allen Houston is getting, cool. I don't want Jalen Brunson and Mike Brown to be walking around with the same ring as Spike Lee. Spike Lee dedicated more time, but the work was done by Mike Brown, Jalen Brunson, that group. But I 100% agree. He should have the opportunity to receive some sort of ring. Ben Stiller, I mean, the people who have been in it, they deserve a chance at a buy-in for a ring. And if they choose not to, cool, whatever. Yeah. But they should have the opportunity to buy in and get a ring.
Text line 913-586-7965. Coming up at the top of the hour, I am getting a sense that a lot of people are starting to have Arrowhead nostalgia. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. Even if your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you keep your bet alive, and it keeps you in the action for even longer. So now you're in it until the final whistle. The Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. This summer is going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be even better with our friends over at FanDuel. All you need to do is visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the same page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or injury, your bet automatically will transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. Go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer for the World Soccer Championship with FanDuel. FanDuel is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm worried. Since your accident, we've got medical bills and you're missing work.
I know. I just don't know where to start.
We call SWL Injury Law the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do.
If they can help us get through this.
We've helped people just like you recover what they deserve. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gomer's voted Casey's #1 liquor store, family owned and operated since 1969. With excellent price, selection, and service, Gomer's has helped customers find the perfect libation for any occasion for over 50 years.
When it's time to find the good stuff you're looking for, you find it at Gomer's.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Join 96.5 The Fan and Circus Sports for Parlays and Pints with Mac Morey and Drew Nixon at Beckett's in the Crossroads this Saturday, June 20th from 3 to 5. Enjoy prices, cold drinks, and sports talk. Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. Visit circusports.com.
Wow your dad this Father's Day. Gift him perfectly aged, oh-so-tender steaks and hand-selected gift packages from Omaha Steaks. Get USDA-certified tender steaks at your local Omaha Steaks store at the Fountains in Overland Park. Or go to omahasteaks.com for fast delivery.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. And I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca?
No, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this.
A nice disclaimer.
Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, get free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back.
RENNER.
Look out for Max Minute on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube Shorts every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. This is Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome back into the drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Really excited to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Today is our last day this week. We are off tomorrow because of Juneteenth, but we'll be back coming up on Monday to recap everything. So I want to talk about the soccer game from a couple of days ago at Arrowhead. And at least the tone that I have picked up from social media. Maybe I'm wrong, but this is the tone that I have picked up. I got a sense of a lot of Arrowhead nostalgia on Tuesday and a renewed recognition of how special that place is and how when it has an energy like it clearly had on Tuesday, there are not many better places in America to watch an outdoor sporting event than at Arrowhead Stadium. Like, I started to hear a lot of people, oh, why are they moving? Why are they doing this? I also think, Rob, that Tuesday was sort of an admission from everybody. Man, maybe we could have done a little bit more. Rob, do you know how many people voted yes on the stadium initiative back in 2024? Because that was the best chance, and in my opinion, really the only chance that Kansas City had of keeping the team was we already have a lease. There is already a tax. We are not going to build a new stadium in Missouri, but we are open to the possibility of very small renovations to the stadium that we already have. Now, I understand that it was attached to the plan with the Royals, and the Royals' plan was bad all on its own, but it is not like everybody did not know the possible risk. And if you voted no on this thing, which people voted no overwhelmingly, 58% of the people that went out to vote on this thing voted no, you cannot say you did not know what a no vote potentially meant. A no vote meant exactly what happened. The Chiefs are not going to continue their relationship with Jackson County and at the Truman Sports Complex. They are moving to Wyandotte County into a brand new, state-of-the-art, beautiful stadium. Do you know how many people voted yes on this? I was one of those people. Do you know how many people voted yes on that initiative?
I do not know the number. I know the percentage they got, vote raised.
Just take a guess. Think about how many people live in Jackson County.
What do we think Jackson County's total? Well, that doesn't matter. Not every single person voted either. I'm gonna say like 65,000 people voted yes.
34,000 people.
Oof. So that means no was like in the 60,000 basically, right?
48.
Okay.
48,000 people. Think about that. Think about how popular the Chiefs are. The Royals are also included in this. They couldn't find 35,000 people in Jackson. It was 34,243 yes votes. I understand that the Royals fumbled this thing. We don't got to go back and rehash it. I understand that. The fact that those two places, and not even the strength of Arrowhead, and even if you didn't like the Royals playing, signing up for another 25 years of Arrowhead Stadium could not get 35,000 people out there to go vote yes. Rob, they could do a scrimmage out there tomorrow and they would get 35,000 people out there. They could have KU's spring game out there. They could get 35,000 people to show up to Arrowhead. They couldn't get 35,000 people to vote yes on a 3/8 cent sales tax that costs you like $40 a year in order to keep the stadium. I'm not mad at the people of Jackson County. We've gone over this a million times. I understand why you voted no, and ultimately, I think what was supposed to happen happened. But as I was watching a lot of the nostalgia and sort of, well, why can't we just keep the stadium? I would argue we had a chance to keep the stadium the way that it was, and they couldn't really drum up a whole lot of interest to be able to do it. So I don't think the public really fought hard enough to keep Arrowhead Stadium. I also don't think the Chiefs really fought hard enough to keep Arrowhead Stadium there. I know the blame is a lot on Jackson County, and they certainly shoulder part of it. The blame is on Quinn Lucas. The blame is on Kansas City. The blame is on a lot of people. We said this when it originally happened. Their proposal for upgrades to not Arrowhead Stadium, were as minimal as you could quite possibly be. I still, to this day, have no clue what the Chiefs' plan was when they were going to have all that space now with the Royals moving away. The Royals were never staying at the Truman Sports Complex. There was the chance the Chiefs were. I still have no clue. They just said activation zone. What are you trying to activate in that zone? We'll never know. We had no clue. But I do hope that seeing Tuesday, understanding how special that place is, the memories that eventually they're just going to blow up, I hope it is a realization, hey, everybody could have done a little bit more here to make sure that we didn't get to this place. The citizens could have done a little bit more. The teams certainly could have done a little bit more. Frank White could have done more. Quinn Lucas could have done more. Everybody could have done a little bit more so we wouldn't be having this conversation in a building, in a place that means so much to us, that has so much history, that so many incredible things have happened in just less than 5 years is going to be gone. And that's why I said earlier to begin the show, it is one of the last few truly special nights at that place. I'm not saying the Chiefs won't have really important games, but you cannot tell me that week 2 Sunday Night Football against the Colts, that isn't one of those kind of nights. That's a good night. I hope it's a great game. I hope it's a 17-14 amazing football game. I'm sure it will be. We're talking about one of those truly special nights. We're talking about 2007, a battle for the number 1 ranked team in college football. We're talking about the Chiefs' first AFC championship game ever in that building. We're talking about the run against the Tennessee Titans. We're talking about Arrowhead. We're talking about Derek Thomas and Neil Smith and flyovers and Marty Schottenheimer. There are not a whole lot of great all-time you had to be there nights at Arrowhead. And that's why I think Tuesday hit the way that it did for so many people. Is there's maybe 10 left in that building, maybe fewer, but there's probably 10 at most. You had to have been there. Can you believe what I just saw? That's one of the craziest games that I've ever been. They don't have another 13-second come from behind Buffalo wins. They don't have too many more 24-0 down against Houston, come from behind victories in the postseason that turn into championship level runs. Again, you only got a small number of those, period. And now that we know sort of the expiration date on this thing, there's just not a lot of those great nights left at that stadium.
I think what I saw on social media was a combination of a truly awesome performance combined with, I think this summer has been the signal to Chiefs fans and Kansas Cityans that it's over more so than anything else. Like last year, the announcement that they're going to Kansas happened in December. Carrington, the Chiefs didn't play any important home games in December. They didn't really play any home games at all in December. Basically, Mahomes gets hurt for early December. They make the announcement the ensuing Monday. Then they play one more game. It didn't matter. It was Chris Oladokun on Christmas night. It was an awful game. No one enjoyed it. And we all moved on. I think last night was the first, dose, first shot, first dollop, whatever you want to use of nostalgia. And you will see many more nights that hit home with people over the next 3 years. The quarterfinal could be one of those nights. The home opener could be one of those nights. If they host a playoff game, could be one of those nights. I think people for the first time had the realization that leads to that nostalgia of, oh, my days in this building are limited. And I think that's starting to hit people because last year, there was no reason to be hanging out in that building after they made the announcement.
Someone on the text line says Clark Hunt was never going to stay at the Truman Sports Complex. He owns the land around there and never developed it. He always wanted the shiny new toy. I don't disagree with you. I'm simply saying there was a vote it would have absolutely locked in 25 more years at that stadium. It was not perfect. It was never perfect. But we cannot say we didn't have a choice. If that vote had passed, they would still be staying there. Now, maybe they would eventually go get the new shiny toy. They would have got the shiny toy in 2051. They would have got the shiny toy in 2052. But when that vote hit a no, that was the end of it. I never think that they were going to stay at Truman Sports Complex. I think their plan was for the vote to fail from the very, very beginning. I don't think the Chiefs wanted Arrowhead. They did not give us a renovation plan of an organization that really loved and cared about that building. It was an upstairs and heaters for the poor folk and brand new VIP and suites for the people with money. That's what the renovation plans were. So I don't disagree with you on what you were saying, but we can't say that we didn't have a chance to at least keep the stadium. Text line 913-586-7965. Someone just sent in, CDOT, the teams being popular doesn't necessarily translate to people being willing to pay for the stadium. We are still paying for the stadium, just differently. That $600 million that Kansas City is offering the Kansas City Royals, where do you think that money is coming from?
Or if you live on the Kansas side, the Chiefs are building it with no cost to Clark Hunt.
Yeah, like, I hear what you were saying. Yes, if your opposition was, we don't want to pay for billionaire stadiums, I hate to be the one to break this to you. We are still paying for the stadium. Like, we are. We're still paying for the stadium. That's $600 million that is coming out of it. It did not come out of Quentin Lucas's personal account. No, that is our money that they just gave to them. Oh, you're paying for it. The Star Bonds, you're paying for the new Kansas Stadium. You are paying for it tenfold. That's what we got. Again, ultimately, I think what was supposed to happen happened. The Chiefs are going to move into a brand new state-of-the-art. They will host a Super Bowl. We'll get a major wrestling event that we would have never gotten before, and we will be able to find tangible things. We got this because of this decision. And ultimately, I think it will be for the best. And if you were telling me that now that we know what the Royals' plan is, this is a plan I would have voted from and been happy to vote on from the very, very beginning. I never really loved the Crossroad idea. I just never wanted the idea of them moving over to Kansas. I love the idea of where they're planning on moving now. If they are about to completely transform Crown Center for the next 50 years and have it centered around new Kauffman Stadium, that is an idea that I will absolutely sign up for. So in the end, I think we all got what we wanted. Kansas wanted a professional sports team. They got one. We are going to get a brand new state-of-the-art stadium that is going to come with a Super Bowl at some point here in the next decade. And the Royals are going to have one of the nicest downtown stadiums in America. Ultimately, I don't know if we came out that bad in Kansas City. I think that everything is going to end up working out just fine. All right, coming up on the other side, we'll continue to talk about the New York Knicks. Today is their day. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid at Rob Seid Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Seid Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Seid Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Seid Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, or robseid.com.
Buy right, Rob Seid.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit trulyhardseltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
For all the things you have to do and places you need to be, let Uber take you there. Because you had just one more 3 rounds ago. Because the 5 a.m. flight seemed like a good idea at the time. Because check engine lights always appear at the worst possible times. And because parking downtown is a nightmare. Because there are nights out, airport trips, and car troubles in your area, there are drivers in your area. Uber. Request a ride today. Wait time varies. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast.
Pump up the volume.
When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Odyssey Sports is presented by ZipRecruiter. Find out why 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/team.
Hey, it's Dusty Likens. The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2 up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Let's say you put your money on Leo Messi in Argentina. They go up too early in the first half. Well, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match result bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you will instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. You like Ronaldo in Portugal. You like Harry Kane in England. Whoever it may be, don't miss your shot at an early win with 2 up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. Regardless of the final outcome of the match, make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New and existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. Please gamble responsibly.
Join us for Parlays and Pints with Mac Morey and Drew Nixon at Beckett's in the Crossroads on Saturday, June 20th from 3 to 5 as we broadcast live along with our friends at Circus Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. CircusSports.com. 96.5 The Fan.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLInjuryLaw.com.
Speeds are slowing now southbound I-29 through the downtown area. However, there are no major delays. Right now, the slowest stretch of road in the KC Metro is southbound US 169 from 69 down to the heavy construction zone at the river. I'm Bill Brooks, 96.5 The Fan Traffic.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I got to share this stat with you because this stat absolutely blew my mind. Did you know that Lionel Messi has won more games? Lionel Messi has more wins at Arrowhead Stadium than Derek Carr does. Lionel Messi has 2 wins at Arrowhead Stadium. He has 1 as a member of Inter Miami. They played Sporting Kansas City. I believe that was 2 years ago. I was supposed to go to that game, but that was the same day as Nick as he renewed his wedding vows. So 2 years ago, Lionel Messi won a game at Arrowhead, and they just won a game a couple of days ago at Arrowhead. He has 2. Derek Carr in his career is 1-9 at Arrowhead. Maybe that doesn't blow your mind the way that it blows my mind. That's crazy to me, that Lionel Messi has more wins at Arrowhead than Derek Carr. There's probably some other quarterbacks that if I we could pull out the stat, you'd be like, wow, I can't believe that. But yeah, Lionel Messi, 2-0 at Arrowhead Stadium. Derek Carr, 1-9 at Arrowhead Stadium. All right, Rob, I have 2 questions to ask you. If you could hit a little bit of fun music here, I would like to go through these hypotheticals, these toss-up questions, and I'd like to get your opinion. So, Rob, you've seen your teams win a championship. You've seen Kansas basketball win a championship. You've seen the Royals win a championship. You've seen the Chiefs win a couple of championships. You've been to and seen a championship parade. You know what Knicks fans are feeling. Right now, I'm going to give you some power that you have never had before. You can press a button for one of these 3 fan bases to experience a championship at some point in your life. Are you pressing the button for the Cleveland Browns? Are you pressing the button for the Detroit Lions? Or are you pressing the button for the Buffalo Bills? Right now, you press the button, you guarantee that fan base will get their day in the sun and win a championship. Who are you pressing the button for?
That's a really good question. I actually was thinking about this because DA, former friend of the station, he posted something similar on social media. I think the answer I would press the button for is the Bills, because the Bills have been the closest and keep losing. And to have that Charlie Brown moment of you're going to be able to kick the football and having it pulled out from them every single time, I think they would be number 1 on that list. Cleveland got a title with the Cavs. I know it's a bigger football town than basketball town, so they got their moment. The Pistons and Tigers have won World Series and NBA Finals respectively. So I think the answer would be Buffalo, because all they have is basically the Bills, and they keep getting close but no cigar. I would say Buffalo of those 3.
Okay, text line 913-586-7965. You have to pick one of these 3 teams to win the championship. At some point in your life, which team are you pressing it for? Are you pressing it for Buffalo, Detroit, or Cleveland? One of those teams to win the chip. I can't imagine what it's like to cheer for the Detroit Lions. Rob, can you imagine there being a season in which your team did not win a single football game?
I actually know that feeling very well.
Not a one.
I'm pretty familiar with it, actually. Thanks for bringing it up.
I wasn't talking about you. I'm talking about them. Can you imagine every Sunday you sit in front of the television and your team gets beat every single Sunday? And then there is a day, a pretty prominent American holiday, that is centered around your team. Thanksgiving. Rob, you probably have watched the Lions more than you've watched any other team because you've been watching them for 30-something years. You've definitely seen more Lions games than you've seen Jacksonville Jaguars games, no question. You've seen more Lions games than you've seen Panthers games because they play every year. Can you imagine every year your team loses in that game? Can you imagine you were a kid in the 90s and Barry Sanders was your favorite player, and then one day Barry Sanders just woke up and said, I don't want to play for this team anymore. And then by some miracle, you get maybe the best wide receiver of his time. And then that guy wakes up one day and just says, you know what? I don't want to play here anymore. I don't want you to trade me. I'd rather just quit. I'd rather just never play football again than play for you guys. Can you imagine turning on television and the NFL MVP used to be your team's quarterback? Can you imagine turning on ESPN to hear them talk about football and the person doing it used to be your team's quarterback and he ran out of the back of the end zone? If there is any fan base in the National Football League that has paid their dues, it's the Detroit Lions. That's the team I'm pressing. I want to see Detroit get one before I leave this earth. I'm pressing it for the Lions.
I think the Lions were number 2 on my list. The Browns would be 3. I don't. After they added Deshaun Watson, they became kind of a I don't want to see them experience success type of energy. So it was Bills Lions for me 1-2.
Would you press it for the Atlanta Falcons?
I mean, no, but I don't think they're long suffering enough.
They've had it bad too.
They're not.
Falcons have had it bad too.
But like their bad is relative. It's been worse in Cleveland and Detroit than being a Falcons fan.
Oh, for sure. No, it's definitely been awful. I mean, I'm not denying that. I mean, but the 2 times they went to the Super Bowl, one time they had the man of the year on their team. He then got busted for soliciting a prostitute. And then the next time they went to the Super Bowl, they lost 28-3.
I'm not saying that it's been good.
No, it's been bad. It's been bad for the Falcons.
I also feel like I look at Atlanta as a whole. They got the Braves run. They're fine.
They did get the Braves run, for sure.
And they don't have Hawks fans. They don't exist.
I still don't really understand why the Atlanta Hawks are not a good basketball team. Like, that's one of the biggest mysteries in American sports to me. I don't really understand it, honestly. Is it not confusing to you? There's like 2 cities that should be really good at basketball every year. Like, they should be able to convince free agents, hey, you know what? It'd be great if you lived here. Atlanta and Washington, D.C. Like, they should just be good. It never makes any sense to me why they're not good.
Remember when there was that run in the NBA where everyone's like, oh, all these free agents are going to go home. Like, LeBron went back to Cleveland.
Yeah.
Look at D-Wade played for the Bulls for a while. They're all going back home.
Kevin Durant had no interest in playing for the Wizards.
He
had no interest in playing for the Wizards.
He was like, nah, I'm good.
He never even considered playing for the Wizards.
He's got the Nationals W on his chest, and he was like, I'd rather play for anyone else.
Yeah, for sure. I'd rather play for the Brooklyn Nets than go play for you guys. You want to talk about a team that ain't got no fans? It's the Nets. That's the team you got to be talking about. All right, Rob, this is the other question. You can turn the music down for this one. All right, this is the question. Not all one-off championship teams in the NBA are built the same. Like, Rob, you still remember that Pistons team from the early 2000s very fondly, right? You have Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups and Richard Hamilton and Tayshaun Prince, and Larry Brown was the coach, and they beat the Lakers and ended that Lakers run. Like, you remember that Pistons team very, very vividly. So we're going to throw the Pistons in this conversation. The 2008 Boston Celtics. You had Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo, and I think Glenn Davis was on that team. That was a good basketball team. They won the championship. The 2011 Mavericks. I'm not sure if we would remember the Mavs in 2011, but we remember them largely because of who they beat. It felt like such a far-gone conclusion that the Heat were going to win the championship. And next thing you know, you look up and J.J. Barea, he's cooking LeBron. And the Dallas Mavericks win the championship back in 2011. And then I'll throw this New York Knicks team in the conversation. I could be wrong, but I don't think this Knicks team wins another championship. I think this is the one. And this one is going to carry you for a very, very long time. I got to see the Knicks win the championship. Jalen Brunson will get a statue at some point in his life off this one championship. I don't think anybody thinks this is turning into a dynasty for them, but you got your one. If they had a tournament between those 4 teams, which team do you think would win that tournament? So one-off
tournament.
teams.
So it's not who I want to see win. It's who I think would actually
win. Who do you
win.
think would win that tournament?
The Celtics.
The 08 Celtics?
The 08 Celtics. The 08, I think because they lost the Lakers, I believe, in 2009, and then they lost previous to LeBron's Cavs when LeBron went nuclear, I think we forget to history how good that Celtics team was. Rajon Rondo is a fringe Hall of Famer. Ray Allen is a Hall of Famer. Paul Pierce is a Hall of Famer. Kevin Garnett is an NBA top 75 guy. Like, that is a great basketball team. I don't know that this Knicks team has any Hall of Famers on it. That Pistons team, I believe Chauncey Billups is a Hall of Famer, but that's it for that team. So that's kind of weighs it out. And Dirk was awesome.
He was amazing.
Series, but again,
Dirk might honestly be the best player in that tournament.
He might be the best.
That version of Dirk, that 2011 Dirk with that little step back jumper, he might be the best player in the tournament.
But I think players 2 through 5 are all on Boston.
That's fair. I was just wondering.
Because Jason Kidd's also on the Mavericks, but he would have been 105 years old.
They also had Jason Terry. I still have no clue how the Mavericks beat the Heat.
You're right. The answer is J.J. Barea, which is a crazy sentence to say. JJ Barea. That's how they won.
It makes no sense to me. I'm serious. I do not understand how the Mavericks won the championship back in 2011. It makes absolutely no sense to me that is the case. So I have to tell you guys a little bit behind the scenes. Now, I'm not mad that this happened, but we try to tell you guys the truth when it comes to the show and who we try to get on the show and who we don't. So we actually don't have any guests on the show. It's just me, you, and Rob yapping until 5:30 when we hand things off to the Royals. We tried to get somebody from the World Cup committee to come on and talk about the traffic issues. Did you know that was on the front page of the paper? Now, I know that's not the same weight that it used to hold back in 1996, but on the front page of the paper, I mean, above the fold is traffic chaos at the World Cup. The traffic issues were absolutely one of the stories from the World Cup. So much so, one of my friends, I was listening to the show, shout out to him, hits me up and says, hey, I heard you're going to the game. I want to tell you what I did. I would advise you not to get on the shuttle, he told me. He said, tell Rob, hey, this is the plan. This is what I did. This is how much it costs. This is how I got there. And I was in and out in 45 minutes. And I'm like, all right, well, tell me. I'm happy to pass this information. I'm not sharing it with everybody. But, Rob, I will share it with you, what he told me, because we go into the same game. I want you to have the same advantage that I have going to this thing. Everybody that used the shuttle is telling you how much of a disaster it was. So we tried to get somebody on the show from the World Cup committee to talk about it and what the plan is for it. They got more games to go. We got 5 more World Cup games in Kansas City. It wasn't just a one-off. No. Is this going to be the situation for everyone? And the games are going to get more important. Now, that was a big one. Lionel Messi, first game of the tournament. I get it. Those tickets for the July 3rd and the July 11th, I mean, it already ain't cheap. It's going to be significantly not cheap for those 2 games. If it ends up being what I think it could be for the July 11th, I think it's probably going to be Argentina, and it could either be Portugal or Colombia. I believe that's who it could be if I'm saying the country correctly, but it could be, it will probably be some combination of those 3. It's a $2,000 get-in. You're telling me I spent $4,000 for my pair of tickets? I can't drive my own car, and something's wrong with the shuttle? Just sounds like it is a recipe for some problems. Sounds like it's a recipe for some issues. So we tried to get somebody on the show to speak to it. They said they're not doing any interviews, but tomorrow they are going to have a press conference about the traffic issues. If you don't know what I'm talking about, here was the news story from KCTV5.
We just got an update from KC26 Transportation saying they are aware of delays affecting some transport services across the network, and they're working with their transport partners to restore to normal operations. Now, they didn't specify what specific routes, but we are expecting those delays today with the Stadium Direct. But something I've been hearing all day is where people's concerns lied. Now, starting with the Region Direct, though, today we saw really smooth sailing. So within the last week of these buses operating, one bus driver told me that at least 3 of the buses had to get fixed and taken off the route. But there are 247 buses that are operating throughout the metro for this. And I want to reiterate that KC26 just shared that they are trying to resume operations back to normal as they've been having some transit issues today. And we have been expecting that with Stadium Direct. Lauren?
I understand it's the first game. And we're talking about trying to get 70,000 people into an arena and out of an arena in a system that is all spread out throughout the course of the city. So, Rob, I gave the analogy yesterday when we talked about this briefly. So the last 2 years I've been to the Kentucky Derby. And how they have it set up is if you're just regular common folk, like I ain't Travis Kelce, if you're regular common folk, if you go park at their Bartle Hall, they have a shuttle that will take everybody with the ticket over to the Kentucky Derby. Their shuttle system is near perfect. You don't really spend any time waiting. From the time that you park your car, walk over to where the shuttle is, they got so many buses lined up to take you right over there to the track. You get on, it's a 5-minute ride from where you park till you get there. By the time you even sit down and get comfortable, you are here at Churchill Downs. Have a great time. We appreciate you. You then do that exact same thing to go back. It's quick. It's easy. Now, on Derby Day, it's kind of busy because everybody's trying to leave at the same time. We're talking about 120,000 people all trying to use this thing. You got to wait a little bit. But once you get the line moving a little bit, it's really not that bad. I understand it's not fair to compare it to that. I mean, they've had the Kentucky Derby for a very, very long time, and this is the first World Cup game. But if there is a noticeable place for improvement in how this is going, I have not heard a lot of complaints about FanFest. Have you heard any? I haven't heard a whole lot of social media arguing, hey, FanFest stinks, is not living up to it. It's free. How much can you complain about something that they just gave to you to go out here, have a good time, hear some live music, celebrate Kansas City? I haven't heard really much complaints about Union Station. They got a lot of local activations going there, support a lot of local businesses. I haven't heard really many complaints about the extended bar hours. We spent a lot of time talking about that. I haven't really heard any stories about any issues popping up from extending the bars. Everything seems like it's been going pretty cool. Now, it's early. Let me knock on wood, but it sounds like everything is going well. The biggest complaint that I've seen, and it has been tenfold, has been the traffic to and from the game and how bad the shuttles were. So they know that, but that has to be fixed as this thing continues on because they got a game on Saturday. Netherlands plays next Wednesday?
Thursday.
Next Thursday, and then next Saturday. So those are the 4 group stage games. And then July 3rd and then July 11th, we have more games as well. This cannot continue as this tournament progresses.
I will say this. I'm going to blame the obvious culprit here. FIFA screwed this up. There was a story, I believe it was in the Star, that FIFA organizers have acknowledged the stadium entry delays. Great. Good job, FIFA. You acknowledged the problem. One of the problems is they only were using 2 of the 8 available gates to get people in the stadium and into the parking lot. Why is that? Arrowhead has a lot of points of entry. That is one of the allures of Arrowhead. It's why during the AFC title game, people get in and out pretty smoothly of Arrowhead. Yeah, there's traffic, but it's not, the 405 in LA, a grind to a halt. They weren't using all the entries. So people in Kansas City, the Kansas City FIFA group has said they are suggesting and recommending improvements for operations ahead of Saturday's match, which includes using more entry points. I don't know if FIFA is going to listen to their recommendation. If Kathy Nelson and her crew come to FIFA and say, here's what we suggest you do different because we had some problems, and they say, nah, you're kind of stuck. But it feels like FIFA screwed up here, and if they are open to the recommendations of the Kansas City group, maybe we will see this improve over time. But that was the major civic story, was getting to the game was a disaster.
No, I'm 100% with you. 2 people asked this question. CDOT, how are these games any different than Chiefs games? I guess I'm not understanding the issue. Somebody else said, why are we acting like we don't put 70,000 people in a stadium 10 times a year? This has always gone much more smoothly for Chiefs games. Well, yeah, the answer is very obvious. The Chiefs want you to park there. FIFA doesn't. If they were allowing us to get to the games how people usually get to the games, this would not be an issue. But FIFA does not want you to park. I think that is very clear. They have made it. Not just in Kansas City, anywhere. They have made it very clear that the way that we as Americans go to sporting events, that don't work for them. And you getting there super early, parking your car, hanging out, tailgating, having a good time, the way that we do for Chiefs games, they do not want that. So I would say for this, where the preferred method for a Chiefs game is you just simply driving yourself to the game. It does not sound like that's what's going on at FIFA. Their preferred method is for you to park at Oak Park Mall and for Oak Park Mall to have a bus that will take you from Oak Park over to the stadium. Now, there's a bunch of locations. That's not the only location. There's Worlds of Fun. There's this place. There's this place. I think there's 12 around the city. But that's the difference. I'm with you. If this would not be a problem, we would not be having this conversation if we could just go to the stadium the way we always go to the stadium. But if you're going to make it basically impossible for me to drive myself to the stadium and I have to rely on your shuttle system in order to get over here, it better be airtight. Now, I understand it's not going to be like how the Kentucky Derby has it set up. That's been doing it that system for years now at this point. So they got it down to a science. But you've had 4 years to get this right if you were Kansas City. And we all know about our public transportation issues in this city. They are asking you to rely on public transportation to get to the game. They failed night one. They got an A in every other category. They failed in terms of how to get you quickly and efficiently over to the stadium. Now, they have another opportunity to do that coming up on Saturday. Let's see how it goes. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
It's Chris Mack with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The first day of second matches in group play on the world stage includes a nightcap between Mexico and South Korea that should be the tightest matchup of the day, and typically, while you'd expect that would lead to some conservative play, both of these squads, especially Mexico, will want to push some pace offensively and be aggressive. With the total set at 2.5 goals, but paying out at plus 155, I like the over. Also, with Mexico's size advantage and physicality, they should have the advantage in set pieces. And if they can avoid too many mistakes in defending counterattacks, I also like Mexico at plus 105 to win tonight against South Korea. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
When shopping for a new auto insurance policy, AAA could help you customize your coverage to fit your unique needs and budget. Trust AAA Auto Insurance to help you find the balance that works for you. See how a simple switch could make a big difference. AAA, we're always with you. Visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
Baseball season is in full swing, and that means the summer heat is coming. The guys at Climate Control have been serving KC homeowners for over 35 years, and they know how to get your cooling system ready to handle our scorching hot summer weather. Stay cool and comfortable this summer. Call Climate Control today at 816-265-2830. 816-265-2830 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs. Don't wait. Visit ClimateControlKC.com today. Climate Control Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Water backing up? Drains slowing down? It's only going to get worse. Head off bigger problems with a $79 mainline drain cleaning from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Plus, a free video camera inspection to pinpoint exactly where that clog is. We'll clear the problem the right way and get your home back to normal. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sound familiar?
At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC-Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got a crash 70 eastbound at Park Drive, 38th. It is in the left lane. Scoot to the right through here, North KC. 35 southbound just past Parvin. I'm seeing some yellow. It's a little slow. That's a stall in the left lane. A lot of onlooker delay. I'm bound with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you. Coming up at the top of the hour, I want to go through some of the expiring contracts with the Kansas City Chiefs. We'll do that coming up in a bit. Now, I remember I read this story on ESPN a while ago. I don't remember how long ago it was, but I remember reading a story. Now, some of you might get mad that we're talking about this, but I think some of you will appreciate this. Rob, the story was about what it was like to be white in the NBA. And they sat down with every American-born white player just to find out what it's like to be the minority on the team. It was actually a very interesting article because it was something that I had just never really thought about before. I thought about that article today. Have you seen this video, Rob? So one of the Knicks players, he's white. His name is Tyler Kolek. I believe he went to Marquette. So he gets off of the bus and is walking around, running around, shaking people's hands, celebrating with fans. We've seen this at a parade. The police stop him and are like kind of grabbing him a little bit. And you can read his mouth and he says, "I swear I'm on the team. I'm on the team." And then the crowd around him kind of starts to react. I think the cop, it just hits him, and they let him go when he continues to keep celebrating. They wouldn't have done that to a black player. They would have only done that to a white player. Rob, we need a E60. We need a 60 Minutes. We need a documentary on what it's like to be a white player in the NBA. He got racially profiled. He played in 53 games. It's not like he didn't play this season. He played in 53 Knicks games. The cops don't even know that the white guy is on the team. You got to see this video. It's crazy. He's just running around. You know, we've all seen what these look like at parades. And the police just come up to him because they just assumed that he hopped the gate and that he was that he was a fan. No, he's on the team. He's a player. I just want to see that documentary. That's what I want.
I have seen the video.
Is it not crazy?
It is pretty crazy. Tyler Kolek also, listen, the cops should know, good on Knicks fans, be like, yo, that's a player. He does look like a very nondescript, like 6'2" white dude. It wasn't like, he's some 7-footer. I can see the mistake, but it's a bad mistake to have happen.
It's a funny one. I mean, it's not like he's 6'2", 195. So I ain't saying he a little guy, but he doesn't look like Mikal Bridges.
Next to Karl Anthony Towns, he's little.
Yeah, he doesn't look like Mitchell Robinson. You look at Mitchell Robinson and you can tell, you play basketball, don't you? You can look at Karl Anthony Towns and you're like, you play basketball. I don't know if you look at Tyler Kolek, and I don't know if 6'2", 195 white guy, 24 years old. I don't know if you automatically assume, oh, you're in the NBA. They racially profile my guy.
Would that ever happen in any other sport in a parade?
No.
Like if the Chiefs win this year and Cole Christensen gets off the bus, the cops in KC are like, no, that's Cole Christensen. We got you. Like, I try to think if that would ever happen in any other sport.
Oh, that's why I'm saying. That's what I mean is we need a better example. We need a better example of what it's like to be white in the NBA. That's what we need. We need just more. I want to hear Tyler Kolek. I want him to explain this moment of what it's like to be white in the association. Coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to go through some of the Chiefs contracts. And I think it's going to be a real quiet summer. At least should be a quiet summer. There's just it's pretty light, I would say, when it comes to the contracts of all of these things. Rob, let me ask you this question really quickly and before we get fully dive back into the Chiefs. Do you think they're done? In terms of a big needle moving, you will hit the breaking news sounder kind of move. Because the Snead conversation, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Now, I understand it's a reunion. It's a player that you obviously know, but you and I didn't spend a lot of time in May talking about they're going to bring L'Jarius Sneed back. It just, one day it popped up. They were bringing him in for a workout. We all know that bringing him in for a workout, that's step one. Of step two, you're about to sign him to a contract. He got signed to a contract. You and I both think that he is making the team. Do you think that for the most part, this is the roster that the Chiefs are going into Denver for week one with? Or do you think there is a potential other move out there? I only asked that question because Cam Jordan is now off the board. So I don't know if they're making that move on the defensive side, but there maybe is an offensive move or two they can make.
I think they are done. As far as oh man, we stopped the show, watch out type of moves. I could see a Veach special. Maybe there's someone in free agency that we, don't know the name of. It's not, Cam Jordan, Stephon Diggs, not one of those names, but it's hey, former first round pick, a John Ross type. Maybe not literally John Ross, but someone who is a free agent still, had failed wherever he was before. Maybe he gets a second chance. Kind of like how Kaiir Elam is a Chief right now. I could see someone in that vein.
You think it's I guess a way of putting it is you think this is somebody roster spot 45 through 53.
Correct.
You don't think it's somebody that would be a potential starter for the Chiefs.
And it's a name we know because he's fallen out of favor in the league, but it's not like oh man, can you believe they got fill in the blank? It's more of we do 5 minutes on it and move around. I think they're done with big earth-shattering type of moves this summer.
What would you set the Vegas odds at right now that player is a wide receiver? I think it's minus 200 that it's a wide receiver.
I think the odds are better than that. I think they're minus 250, minus 300. Just looking at their depth chart, it's not going to be quarterback. It's not going to be running back. Maybe it's offensive line, but that definitely wouldn't move the needle.
They just traded an offensive lineman. They now picking up other offensive linemen. That's a move that tells me you feel like you're good at offensive line.
That's why I think that. I don't think they're going to do it at tight end.
They just got that 6'7" kid or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I think they've told me they're good at D-line. Linebacker, maybe linebacker, but outside of that, that's the only position groups I can think of outside of wide receiver where it even makes a little bit of sense.
All right, coming up on the other side, this is what we're going to do. We're going to reset things. We're going to talk a little bit of Chiefs. I think there is a chance that this is one of the quietest off seasons that we've had in quite some time. And I'm not talking about off the field wise. There isn't even really a person that we think directly needs to get paid right now. This could be one of the quietest off seasons we've had in a while in Kansas City. We'll get to it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
Come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We're going to crash 70 eastbound at Park Drive, 38. That is in the left lane. Scoot to the right through here, North KC. 35 southbound just past Parvin. I'm seeing some yellow. It's a little slow. That's a stall in the left lane. A lot of onlooker delay. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Royals coverage sponsored by Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father, not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Father's Day's right around the corner, and if you're looking for a great way to treat Dad, just make one stop at Hy-Vee. They have absolutely everything you need to make it his best day ever. We're talking about the best beef in the Midwest, from massive T-bones and grass-fed fillets to incredible Wagyu strip loins. Plus, you can grab a bottle of top-shelf whiskey from the spirits department or save 40 cents a gallon when you buy $50 and select retail gift cards. Skip the stress and get everything you need to celebrate Dad, all in one stop, only at Hy-Vee.
This Father's Day, crown your dad King of the Grill with a best in the Midwest thick-cut steak from Hy-Vee. Your dad deserves only the highest quality, hand-selected Midwestern beef. This Thursday through Sunday, stock up for summer during Hy-Vee's biggest steak sale ever. Score huge savings on all of Dad's grilling favorites, including T-bones, fillets, ribeye, and strip steaks. Don't miss the biggest steak sale ever this Thursday through Sunday, only at Hy-Vee.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
And now at Staples, save 25% on all custom banners.
Party City is now at Staples.
that was easy.
Shop staples in-store, online, or on the app. Some banners available same day when ordered by 12 p.m. Ins 8-1 exclusions apply.
Right, soccer fans, listen up. If you'd like a proper celebration, come on, you know where to go this summer. Gordon Ramsay Steak inside Harrah's, Kansas City is the place to be. Now, we're talking beautiful marble cuts, cooked to absolute utter perfection, and flavors you can't get anywhere else. Stop settling for mediocre and let me help you. Come in, sit down, and let my team show you how to cook a proper steak. Now, 21 or older to gamble, know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for client betrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Range Bait with Dusty Likens is now up on the Fan's YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter channels. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
All right, let's go through the expiring contracts for the Kansas City Chiefs, because I think you are going to witness something very, very interesting. I think we are headed towards a peaceful offseason. Now, I don't know what kind of shenanigans that Rashee Rice has planned, but if Rashee Rice stays out of trouble, which is a dicey proposition, I actually don't think there's going to be a lot of news coming out of Kansas City. I don't even really know what news there could potentially be. So these are all the players whose contract expires at the end of this season: Chamari Connor, L'Jarius Sneed, Amari DiMercato, Mike Caliendo, Jack Cochran, Rashee Rice, James Winchester, Kader Kohu, Felix Anudike-Uzama, Kyer Elam, Drew Tranquil, Christian Fulton, Jalen Moore, and Justin Fields. Now, I know that I named a lot of guys, but just hearing that list, Rob, is there anybody on that list that this offseason you would want to give money to? Just right now, between now and whenever they get to St. Joe, which is like July 27th, on top of my head. Whenever they get there, is there a single player that you think to yourself over the next month it is important that they pay? Why would you pay any of these individuals? Either their rookie contract is going to expire or you sign them solely because it was a one-year deal. You're obviously not giving Kader Kohu a new contract. He hasn't played under the current contract. DiMercato just got here. So the Chiefs right now are in a position. There's nobody to pay. There are no contracts to negotiate and worry about at this point. Right now, the only thing you need to be worried about if you're Kansas City for the next 7 weeks is Patrick Mahomes' recovery, Travis Kelce's wedding, and can we keep all of our players out of trouble? There really shouldn't be anything else.
That list is uninspiring. Now, there's one major caveat on that list. Rashee Rice. If Rashee Rice just didn't break the law, there's no other way to describe Rashee Rice other than stop breaking the law, I think he would have been a fascinating case study going forward because of his when on the field productive, but when off the field for injuries, struggle. He would have been a fascinating case study. But there is no way the Chiefs can, the next 30 days or however many days to St. Joe, 60, whatever, extend him. So I think you're going to see no movement. So the text line says Winchester. You don't extend long snappers. You just don't. It's just not a thing that happens. I know that this happened recently with the Jags, but it's not a thing, generally speaking, in the NFL. So I think it is going to be very, very, very quiet this next June, July, which means hypothetical time for us.
James Winchester's 37 years old. You know what I mean?
True.
There's just going to come a point, as much as we all love and appreciate James Winchester, hey, I'm just done playing football. You know what I mean? I'm just done playing football. Now, Travis Kelce also was one of those individuals, but he signed a 2-year deal and just the money. So, he technically has an expiring contract, but it's not written that way like an expiring deal. But obviously, he is not a player that right now you are negotiating with on June 18th to bring him back. You just brought him back, and it's going to be a play it by ear, year by year kind of thing. Like, I don't want to jinx it with Kansas City. And obviously, given the profession, I would love for some spicy Chiefs news and Chiefs gossip. But I really think we are headed towards a very quiet offseason. There really isn't reason for the Chiefs to be making a lot of noise this offseason. Your quarterback is recovering from an ACL injury, and you won 6 games last year. You don't need to be on the headlines. You don't need to be saying something silly on a Twitch stream. You need to make sure that your players are doing what they need to do in their personal life and keeping them hands to themselves and hiring designated drivers. And there's no contracts to be discussing right now. Who's the next guy to get paid in Kansas City? If you had to guess right now, if you had to look out into the future, who's the next guy you think gets paid in Kansas City? Because I think we're a year, maybe 2 years away from even having that conversation. I mean, honestly, right now, the answer maybe is Rashee Rice, depending on how they feel. But you and I are on the same page. I'm not really interested in paying Rashee Rice.
I'm trying to think who the answer would be, who the next pay guy is. I'm just going through the list in my head. This is not a, oh man, it should be that player endorsement. Is the answer Kingsley? He was the draft after Rashee Rice. He's a starting left guard. The Chiefs love paying offensive line. He was better last season. He's going into his 3rd year. He was not a first round pick, so he's going to have 4 years of control. Like, it's an uninspiring answer, but if you ask me who's the next guy to get a contract extension with the Chiefs, the answer might be Kingsley Suamataia.
The reason I don't think they're paying Kingsley, this would be why. You think they have the answer at left tackle, right?
I do. And by the way, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying, who's
with
next?
We're having the conversation. If you were saying that you think Kingsley is next, are they going to be in a position where we think they have paid their left tackle, their left guard, their center, and their right guard, if that's the case? I'm going to guess that Kingsley is going to be a player that they are fine letting walk, and at some point here in the next 18 months, they are going to have to figure out Kingsley's replacement and just start the process all over again. At some point, you got to have enough 4-year, $6 million deals on your offensive line. Now, Simmons has first-round money, not big-time money, but if he continues to develop, you know that's a contract you got to take care of. They are going to re-up at some point with Creed Humphrey if he's going to be a lifelong member of the Chiefs. And Trey Smith is one of the 15 highest-paid offensive linemen in the National Football League. So if there's a guy who, kind of like we see at corner, just plays himself out of a contract, you wish him well, and he goes to play for another team, that feels like your left guard will probably be the person.
Again, I'm not advocating for them to give Kingsley a contract next offseason, but let me say this. We don't think they're going to give an extension or a big contract to right tackle, right? Jalen Moore expires in, I guess, under 12 months now.
I don't know yet. I don't have an answer yet. I think that is a very, very good question.
He started no games at right tackle, so I don't know that they're going to turn around and make...
For sure, not now, but you're telling me, let's say that Jalen Moore goes out and is very, very good in 2026. That's not outside the realm of possibility, right? Let's say that Jalen Moore has a very good 2026. Are they just letting Jalen Moore walk in free agency to start the process all over again? Or is that a player that moves to the front of the line and either we have to put the franchise tag on him so he doesn't leave, or we quickly try to negotiate a contract? Because, I mean, they have to have an answer at right tackle at some point in the next 9 months. I guess maybe a little longer than that, like 10 months. They have to have some answer at right tackle. So I'm not 100% sure that that's the case with Jalen Moore. I just don't know if anybody can give you that answer. They haven't really played him. We don't know yet. He's never been a consistent starter in the league. But if he is a consistent starter in the league and he's pretty good, I'm not against the idea of them re-signing him to a long-term deal. They got to address it somehow. So they're either going to have to spend a significant draft pick to address it, they're going to have to spend that money in free agency, or how else are you going to figure it out?
I mean, it would surprise me. I mean, they've gone cheap at right tackle now twice. Jalen Moore is cheap relative, and before, the albatross of Juwan Taylor's contract, they had gone cheap at right tackle. But I agree with the 10,000-foot view. Either Kingsley or Jalen Moore is next. They are going to go cheap at one of those positions. I would just bet they're going to keep their own in-house more so than Jalen Moore. But to answer your question, the next up for getting paid is Kingsley Suamataia, which is or Jalen Moore. It's one of the two. Both are wildly uninspiring answers.
Someone on the text line said, "What do you think about it being Xavier Worthy?" What does paid look like for Xavier Worthy?
Also, with the 5th-year option, they're going to wait. They would wait another year to do it anyway.
Yeah, he's not a player,
but yeah,
he's not a player I am running to pay off a good year next year. What would Xavier Worthy have to do next season for you to sign him to a long-term deal next year?
Me personally, 1,000 yards.
What do you have to do?
1,000 yards. That's the basement.
You're running to give him a deal if it's 1,000 yards?
That's when I would be interested in the conversation if he gets 1,000 yards. But if he's like 862, hey, man, we'll talk later.
Yeah, I'm picking up the 5th-year option for sure if he has 1,000 yards, but I don't know if...
I think you pick up the 5th-year option no matter what. I mean, he has a value. He's just not the player you anticipate him being.
What if his 3rd year is like his 2nd year?
You still pick up the 5th-year option. You basically have McCole Hardman at zero money. 5th-year options are pretty cheap.
Interesting. I don't know if I picked that up.
You should be a pretty big bust in the league for us to walk on a 5th-year option. I don't think Xavier Worthy's that level of bust.
If he has a year 3 like year 2 was, and he has 1,400 yards over 3 seasons, what words are we going to be using to describe him? Now, if he has 800 yards, this is a no conversation. You absolutely pick it up and you live with whatever the number is. But if year 3 goes like year 2 for Xavier Worthy, and he has 562 yards and 3 touchdowns, you're telling me it's a certainty you're giving him $17 million in year 5? That's not where I'm at.
I just feel like I would take the risk and keep the 5th-year option. I just think, look who the Chiefs haven't picked up 5th-year options on. FAU and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think he's going to be more productive than both of those players, barring injury again. So I think you're going to pick it up.
To be fair on the other side is the other options they've had for first-year guys are first-round guys. They hit on those.
That's true.
You were not debating on if you're going to pick it up with George Karlaftis. You were not debating you're going to pick it up with Trent McDuffie. Xavier Worthy is the first time where you're like, I don't know what they're going to do. You're right. Felix was the other end. Like, Felix has absolutely been a bust so far. Xavier Worthy is right there on the fringe of if you're going to pick it up or not. But if this is another injury-riddled kind of season, I'm not 100% sure I'm locking in Xavier Worthy for double-digit millions heading into that 5th year. Not at all.
You're right. I cherry-picked the extreme example, FAU and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm not 100%, but right now I'm like 85% in the boat. If he gets 600-ish, 700-ish yards, which is what I expect him to do, you pick it up, you call him McCole Hardman, you have 5 years of him, and then you walk, and everyone goes about their business. That's how I think the Xavier Worthy story ends. I'm definitely never paying him. That's crazy to me.
Text line 913-586-7965. We're talking about the Kansas City Chiefs, and I mean, if you're looking at their expiring contracts this year, it's real quiet for the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, this should be a calm, quiet offseason. So I want to play this for you before we have to step aside here. Jason Dunn, he is one of the co-hosts of the Chief Concern podcast. Shout out to Jason Dunn. On his podcast, they were having a conversation about Rashee Rice and how this could potentially be a turning point in his career.
I hope this right here is just a awakening point for Rashee to just let him understand and what hoping he knows this is not where he wants to be. He don't want to have to go through this again. He just needs to understand, like, look, you know what? It's a zip. I don't want to deal with any of this anymore, okay? All the shenanigans and everything that I've been going through and whatnot, all this right now has to end. And he can make that choice to end it. He can. So hopefully he's found himself with his 30 days to do some reflection on his life, on where he is right now and where he wants to go. And hopefully just finds him in a much better position than he has been in these last couple of years, really.
That was Jason Dunn on the Chiefs Concern podcast. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about Rashee Rice because at this point you just kind of know where I am with Rashee Rice. The only person that has the answer to that question is him. I don't have it. Jason Dunn doesn't have it. You don't have it. I don't know. The signs are all there. Advice is only as good as the person receiving the advice. We tell people to wear their seatbelt all the time. People don't wear their seatbelt and get in serious car accidents every day. There's a warning right there on the cigarette label of what could happen if you smoke cigarettes. People still continue to do it. So you can have the information and just disregard the information. That's what free will gives you. So I don't know what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. We are all going to find out in real time together. Maybe what Jason Dunn is saying is true. Hey, this is a turning point. You see where you made a mistake and you understand where you are. Now, you know what? I do actually want to have this conversation. Let's have a circle of trust conversation. Rob, on a scale from 1 to 10, where's your trust level at for Rashee Rice heading into it? So we are now removed from the off the field incident. We know that he had knee surgery. He is coming back. He should be there day one of training camp, ready to go. He will not be suspended. Where is your confidence level? Where is your head at when it comes to Rashee Rice? We'll get to that next. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, let me tell you guys about my friends over at Gates Barbecue. This is such an exciting time in Kansas City with the entire world watching, and we got a lot of out-of-town visitors here. And you know what I'm telling them? Go eat some of our classic barbecue. Well, Carrington, where should I go? There's only one answer. You need to go to Gates Barbecue. In 5 locations around town, you are never too far away from that classic taste. Even if you are heading to Kansas City Stadium, oh, you see that there. Even if you're heading over there, you on your way home can grab yourself some of that incredible barbecue. Get yourself the beef on bun. Get yourself the small party tray. Get yourself the large party tray. Get yourself the mixed plate. Get yourself some of that burnt E-Max. Get yourself some of the fries where you haven't sprinkled the sauce on there. Absolutely delicious. And for Father's Day, I know you plan on taking Pops to go out to eat. Be sure to take them to Gates. Maybe you're going to throw something on the grill for Pops, or sometimes on Father's Day, they make you cook your own meal. It's just so unfair. Well, if you plan on doing that, get some of that Gates seasoning, get some of that classic Gates sauce, and why don't you have a feast on Pops to help celebrate Father's Day? It's Carrington here telling you about my favorite barbecue restaurant in town. It's Gates Barbecue.
Whether you're commuting to work or heading out for a fast coffee break, getting an auto insurance quote is just a tap away. With AAA, you're always connected, so you can focus on the road ahead. Rest easy knowing AAA's got you covered, no matter where life takes you. AAA, we're always with you. To start your quote, visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
So, you're ready to propose, huh?
Yeah, man. She's definitely the one.
What are we thinking about the ring? I got my wife's at Hellsberg. I couldn't recommend a better jeweler.
I could use some help with that.
Man, go to Hellsberg. I had no idea how many details you need to consider. Did you know you can get a natural or lab-grown diamond? I didn't. Figure out what she wants. Trust me, they'll make it happen.
Start your story with Hellsberg. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This summer, grab a Truly Hard Seltzer. Light, bubbly, fruity, and make your dreams come truly. Join us for our game day watch parties on June 12th, 19th, and 25th at Peanuts locations. Truly Hard Seltzer, the official hard seltzer of U.S. Soccer. Visit Odyssey.com/965thefan for more info on watch parties. And visit TrulyHardSeltzer.com/locations to find Truly near you. Hard Seltzer Beverage Company, LLC, Boston, Massachusetts. Hard Seltzer, 5% alcohol by volume. Please drink responsibly. 21 plus only.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GAIN to borrow up to $10,000.
You can never have too many tools. Shop DeWalt deals at Lowe's. Get a free Select DeWalt 20-volt max power tool when you buy a Select 20-volt max 5-amp-hour battery kit. Plus, get a free additional DeWalt 20-volt max 8-amp-hour battery when you buy a DeWalt 10-inch 20-volt max dual-bevel compounded miter saw. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 6/24 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Join us at 96.5 The Fans World Soccer Headquarters at the Peanut in Belton on June 19th with Bink and Logan starting at 11 and kickoff at 2. Presented by Truly, the official seltzer of U.S. Soccer, and by Security Bank of Kansas City, boldly local since 1933.
Royals coverage sponsored by Renner Garage Door. Forward and back, RENNER.
Almost Andy Reid here. Summer heat can put your garage door to the test. Stay ahead of the game with a Renner Garage Door summer tune-up. Plus, get free repair or replacement quotes and $100 off a new garage door. Forward and back. RENNER.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, crash near downtown 35 northbound just past West Penway. Right lane is blocked. Then you've got a crash north KC 29 southbound. This is just past North Oak. Right lane is blocked there. Crash to watch for Raytown 435 northbound past Gregory in the right lane of Valwood traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I'm really intrigued at this. I understand it's still new and still fresh. I don't want to talk about the jail side of things. It's over at this point. He's out. I am curious because we do a circle of trust. So I'm curious on a scale from 1 to 10, where people's trust level, where are we at with Rashee Rice heading into training camp? Now, I understand that Rashee Rice has certainly made some decisions. I don't even want to use the term mistakes at repeated decisions. But on one side, we do have the conversation about contract year being undefeated. And people don't even, his decisions have been so bad, it feels like, Rob, looking at the text line, that has superseded even contract year. When do you think that moment was? When do you think the moment was? Because I don't want to make it seem like it was that long ago in which people were not very hopeful and not fully believing in Rashee Rice. It was October of last year. People very much believed in Rashee Rice. When do you think that turn was? Because I don't think that turn just started 30 days ago when he went to jail. I feel like the turn started before then. When do you think the turn went from, and maybe it's just the text line, when do you think the turn went from he could be a potential top 10, 15 receiver in the National Football League to right now, Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, I'm at about a 1.7 out of 10. Somebody else, I'm at a 2. Another person says, I'm at a 2. Carrington, is a negative number an acceptable answer? There is not one person right now on the text line is, hey, I think Rashee Rice is going to have a good year. I believe in him heading into the season, which is really crazy to me given the fact of he could make so much money by having a good year. Now, I understand he has done a lot of things that would jeopardize his money, but I'm honestly not really sure, certainly not in Kansas City. I'm trying to think of around the National Football League. I don't know if there's a whole lot of players that there is such a wider variance of what their next contract could look like more than Rashee Rice. You could tell me he signs a 1-year, $10 million deal. You could tell me he signs 3 for $90 somewhere, and I wouldn't necessarily be surprised on either end of the spectrum with Rashee Rice, depending on how this season go. It feels like right now the text line has completely given up on Rashee Rice. I am genuinely curious when you think that flip happened, when you think that turn happened where he does not appear to be very trusted by the text line.
I don't know I can pinpoint the exact moment, but it was definitely this offseason. Now, whether that be the allegations on Instagram or then the subsequent civil lawsuit from the mother of his child, remember those two things happened in like February, and then they were followed up with the parole violation. Because during the season last year, when he returned from his 6-game suspension, the thought on the text line was he is a top 10 wideout. He's back with the Chiefs. People got mad at us when we called him top 25. You would have thought we said he was a scrub. People were mad. But I think the season ended, he was productive, and Chiefs fans were excited. And then it was bang, 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 3 bad stories in a row. It was the Instagram allegations. If you don't want to call that a story, that's fine.
I think it was before then.
I think during the season he had developed an air of confidence with fans. And then the minute the season ended, fans realized the Rashee Rice I see on Sunday who's productive, I can't get that player all the time because there's too much Rashee Rice in March.
Yeah, and I guess this is where I would disagree because I'm seeing a lot of people say that it's the weed situation. You could not have been on the side of the Chiefs need to spend a first-round pick on wide receiver and then tell me that your confidence level was super high in Rashee Rice back in March. You cannot tell me both was the case because there were a lot of people, remember, Rob, yourself included, I'm not throwing any shade, but you wanted the Chiefs to go get a wide receiver. If you wanted the Chiefs to spend a first-round pick of a wide receiver, that is a direct reflection of one person. That's a direct reflection of Rashee Rice. So you can't tell me your confidence level was an 8 or a 9, yet that you wanted them to draft a wide receiver in the first round. You cannot be on that side. Now, I also just don't believe that it just started with the weed thing. I refuse to believe that that's when it turned. I think it turned the Cowboys game. Like, if you were asking me when in the season do I think it flipped from we got one of the better receivers in the National Football League when everything comes together to when I feel like people started to have doubts and questions about the kind of player he is on the field, I feel like it started with the Cowboys game.
I think there was still a faction of people who were willing to say that because, like, I don't have the stats in front of me. I'm betting he was a productive wideout going into that game, and then his numbers fell off because he got hurt and Chris Oladokun started playing. So I think in February, after the Super Bowl, fans still had a level of confidence in him. I think it was the Instagram allegations followed by the civil lawsuit that fans realized when that guy leaves the facility, he cannot be trusted, and that's when the turn happened. I think fans trust him when he's at Arrowhead playing football. It's just the minute he drives his car away or the minute he leaves, Stadium Drive, that's when fans started lacking trust in Rashee Rice.
Now, some people make a really good point. Like, now we're trying to pinpoint exactly when this thing fell apart. A lot of people are saying when it was the domestic violence allegations that happened, which I cannot argue with you if that's your why. I mean, it was pretty bad. I mean, it wasn't like one picture. She had 20-something pictures and had a lengthy caption of how this person abused me. Now, I think this is a very interesting point I want to read. Guys, I want to be clear. Me trusting him at a 2 doesn't mean that I don't think he'll have a good year, but his behavior pattern strongly points to him being in trouble again at some point this season. If I'm wrong, then I'll own it at the end of the year. Well, it's very, very simple to me then if that's the case. I understand like we are not the one making moves. If the Chiefs have any question or any doubt about Rashee Rice and his ability to stay out of trouble between now and February, they have to go get another wide receiver. Because if there is another Rashee Rice incident between now and then, a lot of people will be advocating for him to be off the team. Now, I can't tell you exactly what that is going to be, but if Rashee Rice has another domestic violence allegation, and this is his second one in 6 months, if he has another probation violation, I would say for the most part, and it sounds bad, he's been kind of fortunate over the last 6 months. He violated his parole. The NFL's not going to do anything. The mother of his children came out and said, "You hit me." The NFL said they investigated it. Nothing's going to happen, boy. I don't know how many times you can keep dancing with the devil until eventually you get your feet stepped on. So if the Chiefs have any reservations the way the text line does, and I'm not saying you're wrong to have those reservations, but if Andy Reid is walking around or Brett Veach is walking around with the philosophy of, oh boy, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, you have to go get another wide receiver. And you have to prepare yourself already with that person in the lineup so you are not scrambling in October when Rashee Rice happens again. You got to make that move in August. You cannot wait to make that move if you got any doubt about how this is going to play out.
You know what's ringing in my head as you said that? Remember that Albert Breer report? That the Chiefs still view him as a top 10 type of wide receiver in the NFL. I think the Chiefs... Let me say this differently. The Chiefs' actions this offseason and their lack of movement at wide receiver show to me that they think the talent still outweighs the headache. And they have not said, they don't believe another shoe's about to drop with Rashee Rice off the field, or they would have used a real draft pick on receiver. They don't think, we're going to have another allegation or another problem or another jail time with Rashee Rice. Or they would have signed a wide receiver of real value, not just Tyquan Thornton. So I think the Chiefs' view, or at least the way I perceive their view of Rashee Rice through their actions, is they got a star and they think that his on-the-field ability outweighs the off-the-field headache that he is with the Chiefs, because they've done nothing at wide receiver. Like nothing. A fourth-round pick and re-signing a journeyman does not move the needle for me at all at wide receiver.
Text line 913-586-7965. If the Chiefs were willing to deal with all the Tyreek Hill drama, why wouldn't they be willing to deal with the Rice drama? One of them is going to the Hall of Fame. One of them might not be on the team next year. You just made this point. Does the juice... or is the juice worth the squeeze with Rashee Rice? The Chiefs have clearly told you they believe that it is, that the juice is worth the squeeze, that what they plan on getting this season has been worth all of the headaches that they have had to deal with behind the scenes. We know that was the case with Tyreek Hill. I think people misremember Tyreek Hill's time in Kansas City, as crazy as that sounds. It was not entirely drama-filled the whole time. That first season, it was drama-filled. It then had that summer of drama. We were waiting on another contract. It's not like every 3 weeks, every 4 weeks, you were wondering if Tyreek Hill was going to play and if he was going to be productive. I think we have now blown up the Tyreek Hill back and forth and made it way worse than what it is. It has been infinitely worse for Rashee Rice. You get diva personality without any of the diva productivity. It'd be one thing if you were getting A.J. Brown with all of this. It'd be one thing if you were getting T.O. and he's doing sit-ups in the stairwell. You get all of those issues with Calvin Ridley production. That's what you get. So, no, that's why they were willing to put up with it with Tyreek Hill and what makes it different when it comes with this person.
I also would argue that, and it doesn't matter, Tyreek Hill only really had one off-the-field issue in Kansas City. Because you mentioned that first year was drama-filled. The drama was, why did the Chiefs draft him with his history? There were no problems off the field once he got into Kansas City in year one. We had the one summer, 2019, that was drama-filled, KCTV5, the whole deal. Outside of that, his time in Kansas City off the field was relatively quiet. Like, he didn't do a podcast. He didn't have any, he didn't fight people at a marina like he did in Miami. It was relatively quiet in Kansas City.
Especially compared to how it's been in Miami.
Correct.
It was not
Miami's bad.
It was not 7-8 stories that were coming out about Tyreek Hill. It was 2 stories. And, I mean, for as bad as Tyreek Hill was, he didn't go to jail while he was on the team. We know Rashee Rice was in jail during this time frame. That's what makes it different. Someone just said, you guys are forgetting prior to getting hurt, Rice was on pace for more yards and touchdowns than any receiver not named Jamar Chase. He came and he will be a top 15 receiver. I mean, I would put my confidence level for Rashee Rice at a 6 heading into the season. I am more hopeful than not when it comes to Rashee Rice. Just because not even if you think like the best of Rashee Rice. I mean, it's like a bad analogy. But like, Rob, have you ever been super nice to a woman for a very specific reason? Like, you are going above and beyond. You're getting flowers. You're opening up car doors. Like, you're doing things that you normally wouldn't do. To use that analogy with Rashee Rice, all you really got to do is be nice for 8 months. If Rashee Rice is really good for the next 8 months and stays out of trouble for the next 8 months, someone will pay you at the end of this. He is not signing a 1-year, $4 million deal if he has 1,100 yards receiving this year with Kansas City. He is not signing for scraps, or they are not treating him like he is Jawan Jennings at the end of the season. So if there is any person who can see the overwhelming incentive of just have a good year and stay out of trouble, even if you got to fool them until you ultimately get what you want, which is the high contract, just got to be cool for the next 8 months. I hope he understands that. That's why I'm putting it at a 6. We could be talking about the difference in $40 or $50 million with Rashee Rice on him getting in trouble again, him having an average season, or him blowing up and having a big season. Can you imagine if I had told you a year ago that George Pickens would be one of the 5 highest paid receivers in the National Football League? That's what looks like it's about to happen with him. He just signed the franchise tag. We know the Cowboys are going to sign him to a deal. George Pickens is just about to get $130 million. I'm not saying Rashee Rice is going to get that, but you're telling me he couldn't get 4 for 72 somewhere? He absolutely could get 4 for 72. You just got to stay out of trouble.
I think my confidence is a 5 for a lot of the same reasons you have. I also disagree with the texter. I mostly hate the pace game. I think it's stupid to me. He missed 6 games because of his own fault. So I don't get to play the next, the next 11 he was pacing if he had just been able to play. Him not being able to play is his own fault. So I'm not doing the pace game. That's not for me. He's at a 5. I do think he's a productive wide receiver. I don't view him the same way the Chiefs view him, but he is a productive wide receiver who will be integral if the Chiefs are going to get back to Super Bowl glory in 2026. He needs to have a great season and be a true wide receiver 1 and lead the team in targets and all the things. It always feels like it's 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards with him, because even when he's good, he finds a way to do something bad. He was started his second season after all the car drama. He started good, and then what happened? His knee exploded. So I'm a 5 with Rashee Rice. I can't get too excited. I can't get too low. He kind of is what he is. It's vanilla ice cream. It's fine.
Text line 913-586-7965. We're asking the question, on a scale from 1 to 10, where is your trust level for Rashee Rice heading into the season? I have mine at a cautious 6. That's where I'm at, a cautious 6. Where's your number, Rob?
It's a 5.
Just right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Right in the middle. I'm not mad at that.
Every time
he hasn't really earned too much higher than that.
Every time I start to lean, it's worse. He's productive on the field. And then I think, maybe it's better. And then he decides to play Grand Theft Auto down a highway. And here we go.
Do you think Rashee Rice gets in another legal issue between now and the end of the season?
Legal? Are we going to count the fallout from the existing civil trial?
No.
That okay.
A new incident.
A new incident.
A new incident would be in 3 weeks he gets into a fight at a club.
That's
a new incident.
Do we consider another parole violation?
Yes, absolutely. For the same incident? So you're telling me he violates his parole 2 times in 4 months? Yes, that absolutely counts as a new situation. I mean, from right now, does he get in any new trouble? We know the trouble that he's already been in. Does he get in another allegation, a new fight in the club, a new run-in with police? Do you think we get another one? Because my hope is that the answer is no. If that is the case, and I hate to say this, you're one of the stupidest people we've ever seen if that's the case. There's so much money on the line. All you got to do is just hold it together. Even Antonio Brown was able to hold it together. He held it together long enough to get paid by the Pittsburgh Steelers. He held it long enough to get paid by the Oakland Raiders at the time. Rice ain't even seen real money yet. He was a second-round pick who has had some serious legal issues. I know he has spent a lot of money over the last 3-4 years on legal issues. You got a chance to really set yourself up and make real money here over the next 8-9 months if you just perform and play well and stay out of trouble. If you get into another fight in the club, another incident, you're stupid. I don't know another adjective to use.
I lean something else happens. It's a lean. It's not a super declaration. I'm not 100% sold something's going to happen, but even small, like he's now going to be a target for TMZ. You're telling me another photographer at the bar incident is going to pop up? That he's not going to push a photographer. He's not going to, yell at. He's dating an Instagram model. He's under the public eye and public scrutiny more now. I think he's going to slip up in some form or fashion again. Maybe it's more of a PR problem than a legal problem, but something's going to happen again. It just, too many things have happened in his life.
You know how crazy it sounds? We can move on. Did you know how crazy it sounds to say, oh, the Chiefs are having problems with Rashee Rice, so for insurance, they need to go get Tyreek Hill? Like, that's your argument. Your argument is, hey, at some point, Rashee Rice is going to do something else. So in order to give themselves a little bit of insurance, they need to rely on Tyreek Hill. That's how bad things have gotten, at least when it comes to Rashee Rice off the field. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to reset things. We're off a little bit early today because of the Kansas City Royals. The Cardinals are in town. What a weird series for the Royals. They have a Thursday game, a Friday game. They are off on Saturday because of the World Cup, and they play the Cardinals again on Sunday. That will probably never happen again in Royals history. Keep it right here, Sid Drive.
Tune in to hear the Hall of Fame voice of the Royals, Denny Matthews.
There's a high fly ball, deep left center. That goes Ward to the wall. Gone. Bobby Witt Jr.
Every Monday at 3, right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is out here changing the game. Because sometimes your player gets subbed off, and that means your bet goes with them. Well, not anymore. With FanDuel's Super Sub, if your player is subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. Your bet stays alive, keeping you in the action longer. So if you're still in it until the final whistle, Super Sub covers the entire game, including extra time. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get started now. Look for the yellow Super Sub icon on the game page and the My Bets page. If your player leaves the match due to substitution or an injury, your bet will automatically transfer to the substitute who replaces that player. So go to FanDuel.com/local. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
It's Chris Mack with the Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The first day of second matches in group play on the world stage includes a nightcap between Mexico and South Korea that should be the tightest matchup of the day, and typically while you'd expect that would lead to some conservative play, both of these squads, especially Mexico, will want to push some pace offensively and be aggressive. With the total set at 2.5 goals, but paying out at plus 155, I like the over. Also, with Mexico's size advantage and physicality, they should have the advantage in set pieces. And if they can avoid too many mistakes in defending counterattacks, I also like Mexico at plus 105 to win tonight against South Korea. That's it for this Sports Betting Minute, brought to you by BetMGM. Download the BetMGM app today. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Missouri only. Subject to eligibility requirements. Please gamble responsibly.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Colonel's cooked up a new $10 bucket of the day just for you. Monday, 24 nuggets for $10. Tuesday, 8-piece fried chicken for $10. Wednesday, 10 wings for $10. Thursday, 8 tenders for $10. Friday, 24 nuggets for... Ooh, you guessed it, didn't you? $10. The $10 bucket of the day deal. Every weekday. Only at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Not available on third-party ordering platforms. Tax extra.
Today's match day preview is presented by Fanatics Sportsbook. Download the Fanatics Sportsbook app today. Winning hits different here. USA will take on Australia in Seattle for the top of the Group D standings. Morocco will face Scotland in Foxborough, looking to gain ground in Group C. An incredible performance for the USA against Paraguay. They'll look to continue their good play against Australia, who had a 2-0 victory over Turkey. The USA are minus 165 to win the match against Australia and are minus 250 to win Group D. Morocco played a hard-fought match against Brazil in the opening round, finishing in a 1-1 draw. They'll look to record 3 points as a minus 130 favorite against Scotland, who won their opening match against Haiti and are currently on top of Group C. This has been your official Odyssey Sports Match Day preview brought to you by Fanatics Sportsbook. Winning hits different here. Listen in ahead of each match day for the latest betting insights from Fanatics all tournament long.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the soccer showdowns with 2-up early payout so that if you're up 2, BetMGM will pay you. That's right. Place a pre-game straight match results bet on any tournament game. If at any point your team is up by 2 goals, you'll instantly win your bet. Then enjoy BetMGM same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Don't miss your shot at an early win with 2-up early payout to get paid out if at any point your team is up by 2 goals. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. Must be 21 years of age or older. This promotional offer not available in Ontario, Pennsylvania, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or 1-800-MY-RESET. Available in the U.S. For New York, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. New and existing customer offer, subject to eligibility requirements. Additional terms and restrictions may apply. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel, must be present in a state where it's legal to wager.
Shawnee Mission Ford, on a mission to do more. Visit our inventory at ShawneeMissionFord.com.
Hey, it's Cole, and I have exciting news. Ford has announced employee pricing for everyone. Over at Shawnee Mission Ford, you pay what they pay, and you still get the rebates and incentives offered by Ford, along with the top trade-in value from Shawnee Mission Ford, who's on a mission to do more in 26.
Come score the shirt with 96.5 The Fan, as we'll be in the Lightwell office building at 11th and Main in downtown KC Mo every Wednesday between 11 and 1 during the World Soccer Championship, giving away shirts, gift cards, and more. Lightwell, managed by Area, owned by Samara Road. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by Anthony Plumbing. We've got the crash that is headed up north 35 northbound, just past 435. Left lane is blocked. We've got the crash near Olathe 35. That's northbound past 151st. Right lane blocked. Southbound side very heavy as well. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
Welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you. Coming up in just a bit, we're going to reset things, get you ready for the evening in the World Cup. Rob is going to give you his overachievers and underachievers, as we have seen so far in the World Cup. We have seen every team in the World Cup play so far, and we're going to get Rob's thoughts on who he's been happy with, who he's been upset so far with in the World Cup. We are off tomorrow because of Juneteenth. We'll be back on Monday to recap the United States game. They play tomorrow against Australia. That game is at 2 o'clock over on Fox. One thing that I have loved about Kansas City over the course of the last week or so is any attacks from outsiders. I saw a tweet that was going around not that long ago that was basically asking the question, why does Kansas City get the World Cup and New Orleans doesn't get the World Cup? And I'm telling you, I saw the internet jump on this person. I was thinking, good. That's what I was thinking. Good. I'm happy that you jumped on this person. New Orleans, don't you get enough? You get the Sugar Bowl, you get the Super Bowl, you get Mardi Gras. You can't share some of these events with other people. So I was happy that the internet got on her. Now, JT the Brick, radio legend JT the Brick. Now, it is important to know, and I love JT the Brick, but JT the Brick, he does the pre and the post game for the Las Vegas Raiders. So I understand how he would throw a little bit of a shot at Kansas City. So I'm sure by now you guys have seen the video of Argentina fans, and they're coming down the spiral, and they are going crazy. And JT the Brick tweets out, this doesn't happen at KC Chiefs games inside Arrowhead Stadium. Soccer fans are just bigger and better. And let me tell you, the internet pounced on this man in a way that I haven't seen in quite some time. He went to his radio show to address it. Here's what he said.
So I tweeted out that they've never done this in Kansas City. Every response, a couple of 100,000 responses on YouTube and X combined. You don't know what you're talking about. We own the Raiders. You suck. I just pointed out that the fans of Argentina did something that wasn't seen before in Kansas City. Well, maybe that was a bit of a mistake because Kansas City, when they win, they do that stupid chant. It's called the tomahawk chop, and they're very good at it, and it's very loud. So then Kansas City started getting mad at me, and they started posting videos of them walking out of the same stadium in the same tunnels, packed, doing whoa. And I'm like, that's not similar to Argentina. You just do that stupid tomahawk chop. Kansas City's been irrelevant for 50 years, from Super Bowl 4 to Super Bowl 54. They were irrelevant. And look, Kansas City's been much better than the Raiders the last 10 years. The Mahomes era for sure. And they know that, and I know that. But man, are these fans uptight.
I mean, JT, and I love JT. We can probably get JT on the show if you guys want to hear from JT. I hear a lot of hateration, holleration, especially from a fan base that doesn't have an identity anymore. The Oakland Raiders and Los Angeles Raiders absolutely had an identity. They had the black hole. They had an intimidating place that you didn't want to go in and play. No one feels that way about you in Las Vegas. So I don't know if you can throw shots if you're the Raiders at any other fan's culture when you don't have a culture. You had one, but you sold it. You sold it to Mandalay Bay. You sold it to the Luxor. You don't have any culture. So no, we're not letting this fly. I can't sign up for this, especially not from you. It'd be one thing if this was a Steelers guy that was saying that with the terrible towels. It'd be one thing if it was Minnesota Vikings with the skull. The Raiders? You're telling me the team in which people called their stadium Arrowhead West because they go in and take over the stadium in which there is a flag underneath that says Chiefs Kingdom? Somebody associated with them can then talk about Chiefs fans and their passion? No, you can't let that fly. Not at all. That is a flagrant 2 foul. 2 shots. You do not get the ball. Ejected from the game. Rob, that's crazy. That audio is crazy. Fans are uptight. It's because of you. It's the messenger. That's why they feel that way. You can't throw stones if you're the Las Vegas Raiders about Chiefs fans. You can't throw stones about the fans. You can't throw stones about the organization. How dare you speak on the Kansas City Chiefs business?
It's fine to say soccer fans are different. And I've seen some tweets going around about how the parties in KC have been different than the Super Bowl parades or whatever. That's a fine take. Like, it's not a competition. But for JT the Brick, a Raiders pre- and post-host, to say the Chiefs were irrelevant for 50 years and then they don't do this thing only soccer fans do.
The Raiders been irrelevant for 30.
More.
Basically since John Gruden left.
Ever since they left the field getting boat raced by John Gruden, it's been over.
Somebody on the text line says, this is the same team that had to share their field with a baseball team. This is the same team. Somebody else says their tradition is throwing batteries. They don't even do that no more. That was back in 94, maybe 2004. 2026, it's real friendly in there. That's what the Raiders turned their culture into, a tourist attraction. The Raiders sold out their tradition. They sold it out for WrestleMania. They sold it out for multiple days of Usher and Chris Brown and 5 days of Morgan Wallen and Crawford Canelo. That's what they sold out their tradition for. You can't talk about Chiefs fan culture. No, not you, of all people. You can't do that. Again, there's some fan bases that if you want to have a back and forth with Kansas City, it can be a good spirited debate. How dare you make fun of my Porsche and you driving a Corolla? That's unacceptable. I don't care what year it is. Look at what you got. No, you cannot do that. No, that's a flagrant foul. Cannot do it. Coming up on the other side, we will reset everything. Coming up at the top of the hour, we are through one round of group games in the World Cup. Rob's going to give us his overachiever and underachiever. And today, the New York Knicks celebrated a championship. We'll get to it. Keep it right here, so drive.
You're listening to The Drive.
My man, Carrington Harrison.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by Anthony Plumbing. We've got the crash that is headed up north 35 northbound, just past 435. Left lane is blocked. We've got the crash near Olathe 35. That's northbound past 151st. Right lane blocked. Southbound side very heavy as well. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, let me tell you guys about my friends over at Gates Barbecue. This is such an exciting time in Kansas City with the entire world watching, and we got a lot of out-of-town visitors here. And you know what I'm telling them? Go eat some of our classic barbecue. Well, Carrington, where should I go? There's only one answer. You need to go to Gates Barbecue. In 5 locations around town, you are never too far away from that classic taste. Even if you are heading to Kansas City Stadium, oh, you see that there. Even if you're heading over there, you on your way home can grab yourself some of that incredible barbecue. Get yourself the beef on bun. Get yourself the small party tray. Get yourself the large party tray. Get yourself the mixed plate. Get yourself some of that burnt E-Max. Get yourself some of the fries where you haven't sprinkled the sauce on there. Absolutely delicious. And for Father's Day, I know you plan on taking Pops to go out to eat. Be sure to take them to Gates. Maybe you're going to throw something on the grill for Pops, or sometimes on Father's Day, they make you cook your own meal. It's just so unfair. Well, if you plan on doing that, get some of that Gates seasoning, get some of that classic Gates sauce, and why don't you have a feast on Pops to help celebrate Father's Day. It's Carrington here telling you about my favorite barbecue restaurant in town. It's Gates Barbecue.
Even on weekends and holidays, Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric shows up. Expect reliable HVAC plumbing or electric service. Plus, enjoy $500 off a new HVAC system this summer. Schedule your free consultation at anthonyphce.com.
That wreck really took everything off track. Can't work, can't help with the kids. The bills are stacking up.
Then stop waiting. Call the Car Crash Kings, SWL Injury Law. Car crashes, that's what they do.
Yeah?
Yeah, they go to work so you can get your life back and get paid what you're owed.
Don't get pushed around. Visit us at SWL Injury Law today for your free consultation. We're the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
Visit SWLinjurylaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
When Kansas City storms roll through, hail and wind can damage your roof without you even realizing it. If your home was hit, call us at Century Roofing for a free inspection today. We handle every step with your insurance company, making the process stress-free and easy for you. For over 35 years and more than 35,000 roofs, we've been protecting Kansas City homes. Let us protect yours. Trust the Pillars of Strength with KC-based and female-owned. Century Roofing, KC.com.
Century Roofing, trust the Pillars of Strength.
High energy bills? Can't get cool enough? Your HVAC system could be the reason. Save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Smart homeowners know an old air conditioner can cost you more every month. Don't let it drain your wallet. Upgrade to efficient, reliable comfort with payment options that fit your budget. Put your trust in over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 5-star reviews. Visit callhamilton.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions.
Hey DQ fans, nothing could make Father's Day more memorable than a DQ cake. Treat Dad, aka Pops, Poppy, or Papa, to one of our delicious fudge and crunch cakes. Or get a cake in one of our other Blizzard treat flavors like Oreo cookie. Customize your DQ cake with a message that celebrates the big guy and all the wonderful things he does. Trust us, it's a lot more fun than a pair of socks or another wacky tie. Only at participating DQ locations. Happy tastes good.
Hi, this is Kevin Harlan, and I'm here with Rob Seid at Rob Seid Ford. Rob, I smell a grill. What's cooking?
Kevin, the grills are fired up, and so are the deals. Right now at Rob Seid Ford, it's the Ford Employee Pricing Sales Event with the best deals we've had in the past 12 months.
Now that's saying something. What are we talking?
Employee pricing on virtually every new Ford on our lot, plus even more dealer discounts on top.
So how hot do these deals get?
Up to $17,500 off brand new F-150s at Rob Seid Ford, plus huge savings on Expedition, Explorer, Bronco Sport, Bronco, and more.
Wow, that's 5 alarm hot.
Exactly, and unlike Kevin's Burgers, these deals are coming out juicy.
All right, I walked into that one.
Shop Rob Seid Ford, Kansas City's top-rated Ford store on Google. 4.8 stars and nearly 3,500 reviews.
Rob Seid Ford, 135th and State Line, or robseid.com.
Buy right, Rob Seid.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this. Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Carter Jensen, and this is your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. You are listening on 96.5 The Fan. Rob, during the commercial break, the UFC Freedom 250 numbers have come out. The UFC event that was at the White House averaged 8.2 million viewers across the United States and Latin America. It is the biggest streaming event that they have had so far with UFC. 7 million came from the United States. 1.2 million came from Latin America. They're going to get the numbers later in the week for the rest of the world. But that's what it is right now between United States and Latin America. 8.2 million viewers for UFC Freedom 250. I was one of those people. I watched the event.
And this is Paramount only, right? Or
yeah, Paramount Plus, yes. Okay. I'm actually a little bit surprised that it wasn't on regular CBS. I don't really know all the television and what goes behind it, but I felt like when they made this announcement between UFC and Paramount that one of the pluses was going to be shown on regular broadcast television. Why wouldn't you get the one that is celebrating America's 250 and it's on the birthday of the president? I don't understand why that ended up being the case, but this was the one event you would assume, and it was on a Sunday night.
Yeah, who was playing Sunday on the World Cup? Was it like you didn't want to go against Fox? I don't know. I mean, they still went against Fox, I guess.
I mean, it wasn't the U.S.
No, it wasn't the U.S.
So I don't know who it was.
It wasn't one of the host countries. I mean, it wasn't France. I don't know. I was surprised it wasn't on. I'm just saying. I was surprised it wasn't on regular TV, and I'm also surprised since it's on streaming, you can kind of say whatever number you want.
No, for sure. I'm a little bit surprised that event wasn't on CBS. I'm a little bit surprised that ended up being the case. All right, so a couple things that I want to do here before we have to sign off today. We're off a little bit earlier today because of the Kansas City Royals. Why don't we start here, Rob? Why don't we hit the button? Why don't we do the hits a little bit earlier today? And why don't we, for hit number 1, we are 1 round through in the World Cup. So every team is guaranteed to play at least 3 games if you qualify for the World Cup. We have seen 1 game for every team so far that's in the tournament. I want to give you the teams that have overachieved so far. Rob, the teams that have impressed you. I also want to hear about the team that you're a little bit disappointed as we are beginning this tournament. Let's get to that.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. number 1.
Carrington, the hits are brought to you by Jungle Law. Call the lawman today, 816-816-9111. If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, it's time to call the lawman. And be sure to watch the lawman get roasted for a good cause Saturday, August 1st at the historic Uptown Theater. All right, Karen.
Hold on. I just want to. Someone said the Stanley Cup was on Sunday night. That's why UFC would have dominated the Stanley Cup.
What were the Stanley Cup numbers? That's what I'm curious about.
I'm not gonna look it up. It would have dominated the Stanley Cup. No one is moving their sporting event around because the Stanley Cup is on television.
Yeah, it would have been Vegas, so it's not like it's a live it's same town type of deal.
They got 5.9 million viewers.
Yeah.
So more people streamed UFC than watched the Stanley Cup that was on ABC. No shade towards hockey. Nobody is moving their programming around because of Carolina and Las Vegas hockey. So they were not ducking smoke from that.
And the Knicks were done on Saturday.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it had to be because of the World Cup. I mean, that has to be the logic, right? Is they didn't want to go directly up against the World Cup on Sunday night. But, I mean, that's a pretty good number. You do 7 million people on Paramount Plus. That's a good number for your UFC event. And that number would have been in the tens, at least 10 million if they had put it on regular CBS. They just didn't put it on regular CBS.
It was Ecuador was the late game on Sunday night. Ecuador versus Ivory Coast.
Ecuador, they play Saturday,
here,
right?
They play here,
Saturday.
2 days, yeah.
That
stadium's going to be yellow. It's going to be a lot of Ecuadorian fans.
Are you going to the game?
No, I don't have tickets this one.
Okay, I didn't know. I know. Maybe you were going to a second one. Maybe I didn't know. Maybe you were hiding tickets on me.
As of now, me and you are going to the same single one.
Yeah, Algeria. Shout out to them. Mm-hmm. Tanzania, right?
Nope. Still Austria.
I'm going to get it right one of these days. I'm gonna get it right the game I'm going to.
Also, not how you say that country's name is Tunisia, but that's not here nor there.
Yeah, you know what I was talking about. You know what country I'm in. All right, let's keep it with the World Cup. I have been watching the World Cup. I'm actually up gambling-wise on the World Cup. I know soccer. But you know what? It's not my thing. I'm going to kick it to Rob here. Rob, for hit number 1, hit a little bit of music here. Give me the teams that have surprised you so far in the World Cup. Give me the teams that have disappointed you so far in the World Cup.
Let's get the negative out of the way first, because I'm not in the mood to talk about negatives in the World Cup. Let's get the negative out of the way first. Teams that have underachieved, there's 2 big ones. Let's start with Brazil. I know they played to a draw. I know Morocco's good. That's fine. You're Brazil. There was a time where you took the field and you were up 1-0 just by pure being out there. You used to have the best team, the best players in the world. You used to have the best coaches in the world. It used to be a foregone conclusion. You're a semifinalist. You played to a draw with Morocco and you weren't even the better team on the field. If you didn't get a wonder strike from Vinny Jr., you lose to Morocco in the first game. They're my first disappointment. Second disappointment, and you'll feel this one, Spain. You're the favorite to win the tournament. FanDuel says you're the best team in the country. You're the best team in the world. You're a top 3 team in the world. You are undoubtedly one of the best teams across the board. You just won the Euros in 2024. You're playing the second worst team in the tournament by FIFA rankings. And you don't score, which is automatically bad enough, but you played to a 0-0 draw, and now Cape Verde, or Cape Verde, however you say it, I apologize to them, is having a celebration dancing on how poorly you played. Okay, those are the 2 biggest disappointments from match day 1 across the World Cup.
I'll never forgive Spain for what they did to me. They were a lock.
You got double hit, too, because you had the 1 goal.
Yeah, you told me that the team they were playing was the second worst team in the tournament. That's what you told me. You told me the favorite to win the whole thing was playing the second worst team in the whole tournament, and then they couldn't score. That's what you told me.
They should have been. That's why they're the disappointment. The positives, the good teams. We'll go quick here. Number 1 is a Norway/Scotland. Both teams I thought could be pesky, could be fun, could be a team that maybe gets out of the group stage in a 3rd-place match. They both lead their groups right now. They're at 3 points. They're in control. A lot of soccer we played, but if you had told me Norway would be leading their group, and you had told me that Scotland would be leading their group with both France and Brazil in their respective groups, then I would have told you you're a liar. But here we sit, Scotland and Norway, top of the group. They both look good. Erling Haaland looks incredible. And one other big surprise, the United States. The United States does not thump teams like that in the World Cup. They don't thump teams like that ever. it's got to be a team that's just, an FCS opponent. I'm talking a country you don't even know. And, small town Caribbean country comes to the United States for a friendly. Then they'll thump them. But it doesn't happen in the World Cup. For them to take care of business at that level and have a chance to essentially win the group in match day 2 tomorrow gives you a real belief that maybe this team could be a little different. So those are my positives and negatives about teams and how they've achieved so far in the World Cup.
Do you have the U.S. winning tomorrow? Because
Yes.
I only asked that question. I'm saying this as a casual. I don't know. But you know how the same way when I start to get really excited about Mizzou and then you tell me, going on the road for this game, that's a game they never win. Remember when Missouri went on the road for Vanderbilt this year, or when they had that home game against Alabama and I was getting excited like Carrington? They never win this kind of game. The United States has a chance to make their third game completely meaningless in the group and run away with this group. I got a feeling that don't happen too often for the United States in the World Cup, where they can just take care of their business early and really coast in game 3. Now, this feels like a step up in competition in their match coming up against Australia. We were just talking about television ratings. The ratings are going to be there. It's a holiday for a lot of people. I'm expecting the number to get to somewhere close to 20 million tomorrow for the game. A lot of people are going to watch this. There is a buzz. There is a hope about the United States team after what they did to Paraguay. How do you feel about their chances tomorrow?
I feel very confident about their chances tomorrow. This is no disrespect to Australia or the Socceroos. They were one of the teams that I would have considered an overachiever in match day 1. But if you look at the stats and you look at how that match was played between Turkey A and Australia, every stat would tell you Turkey A dominated the game. They had more shots. They had everything. Australia did what your favorite country did, Cape Verde, and they just bunkered for 90 minutes. And they had 2 basically counterattack breakouts, and they hit long-distance shots that beat Turkey A. Credit to them, they win. The United States, I think, is positioned well both in their defense, formationally, tactically, to prevent long shots from going in. And if you're telling me the United States is going to dominate possession to the tune of maybe 70%, I may have too much talent up front to not put one in the back of the net. So I like the U.S. tomorrow 2-0.
You got another beat down. You got double beat downs.
I got them a polite 2-0.
You can politely beat somebody 2-0?
Yeah, it's like you score a goal like in the 47th, then by the way, in like the 83rd, and it's 2-0.
I don't know.
I also think the
I don't know much about soccer, but I know if you're telling me you go they play soccer for a long time, you don't score in almost 100 minutes of playing soccer, something went terribly wrong for you. You don't score?
Australia is going to be out there to play Cape Verde style. They're bunkering for the whole tournament.
Why? They won their first game, didn't they?
But the style they play is bunker, try to get a mistake, and then
they play like 4 corners. They play like Dean Smith ball.
They play like they're. You know what they're trying to do? They're trying to prevent you from. It's like Dean Smith defense, and then one fast break, go score. That's what they hope to do.
Okay, I just was wondering. I was just wondering when it comes to soccer. I will be watching it tomorrow. I have moved my schedule around and my day around to be somewhere to watch the United States play soccer. That's not something I really need to just watch at home by myself, quiet. Like that's how I watch football games for sure, but. I don't mind being out there with the people to watch this. It's not like I need the sound. I also need somebody to explain to me what's happening and what's going on because I don't know what's happening and what's going on. Rob, that's why it was great watching it with you.
It also was fun to watch you learn the players and then hit all your bets in real time.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I never heard of one of those guys. What was that one guy?
Balogun?
Yeah, I never heard of him before.
He's top 5 right now in the Golden Boot.
Where's he from? Where did he grow up?
I believe Manchester. London, maybe.
Hold on, he's on the U.S. team, but he's not from here?
Yeah, where is he from? I know it's England.
How can he play on our team if he's not from here? I don't know how this works. You can just pick up ringers?
So he visited New York when his mother was 7 months pregnant.
He visited. So he's not from here.
His parents were visiting. He was born in Brooklyn, then his parents returned to where they live in London. So he grew up in London.
Hold on. No, I did not know this. This is me asking genuinely. His parents were here for a trip?
His parents were living in London, visited New York, and his mother was 7 months pregnant at the time because of some complications with return flight.
So she had him early.
Yep.
And then they immediately went back to London, where they actually live.
When he turned
he qualifies to play on the United States team?
When he turned 2 months old, he returned to the United Kingdom to grow up in London. He actually is a unique case. He had a choice between 3 countries.
Am I the only person? This is a wild story. How can he play on our team? He's not from here.
He was born in the United States to Nigerian parents who grew up in London. So he actually had a choice.
They're not even from here.
He had a choice between 3 different countries, and he chose America.
So basically, he wasn't good enough to play on those other countries, and this was the one that he was good enough to play on, so they allowed him to play. That's how it sounds to me. Because if he was good enough to play on the England team, I don't know why you would pick playing with the U.S. team over the England team.
He played on the youth national team for England up until he was out of the U21 teams. He then applied for a one-time switch based on the fact he was born in the United States and was able to become a United States player in 2024.
Okay, this is blowing my mind. I did not know this.
He had a choice between England, Nigeria, and the United States. Initially chose England and then applied for a one-time free waiver to change.
He tried to play for the England team. He wasn't good enough to play for the England team.
I mean, he was playing for their under 18 and under.
That ain't playing for the real team. A lot of people don't play for the United States. No, that's crazy. I mean, a lot of people are saying birthright citizenship. I mean, all of that makes perfect sense. I don't know, for the concept of this, it just seems crazy. His parents were over here. He's not an American. I don't know if he would identify himself as an American. It's not like he split time here in the United States. He was here for 2 months and lived his entire life somewhere else. He's not an American.
He is also not the only non-American-born player on the United States team.
That's crazy to me.
Serginho Dest was born in the Netherlands. He's playing for the United States right now.
Yeah, no. Someone says, see that you never heard dual citizenship. Oh, yeah, but like someone like Ben Simmons, lived in Australia. Like he was born in the United States. His parents then moved to Australia. He then lived there, and then he came back to then play at LSU. Yeah, no, I mean, I've certainly heard of it before. I didn't know this man's story until just now. I just never heard of that.
You know what? It's probably similar to Kobe. Wasn't Kobe born in Italy?
Yeah, for sure.
If Kobe wanted to play for Italy's national team, Kobe could have.
No, I mean, the whole text line is you never heard of this before. I mean, I don't know. I mean, now that I know all these rules about this, I can't believe now that we give these college athletes such a big deal. This sounds crazier than some of the things that we are mad at these college kids for doing. This sounds crazier to me than playing for 5 different schools. You can play for a country you're not from.
By the way, he is one of 2 players who was born in the United Kingdom who are on the team for the United States.
Oh, I didn't know.
Anthony Robinson was born in England. His parents then immigrated to the United States, and then he later became a naturalized citizen. So then he had the choice, England or United States. He chose United States.
Oh, I got it. I mean,
despite
I get it. I mean, hey, if this is how we got to get it, if this is how we got to get it to live, to be good at soccer, to do this, then hey, keep doing what we got to do.
I mean, this is pretty commonplace. Go look at the French team.
Oh, so you're saying everybody. So you're saying this is like in high school when like you really grew up on like 27th and Prospect, but you play for Blue Valley Northwest?
This
like
is
one of those?
This is Christian Brown growing up in Burlington, Kansas, but playing in Johnson County. That's what happens. It's just some countries are better at the cheating.
Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, you knew about this during the World Baseball Classic. Don't play dumb now. I don't really consider the World Baseball Classic to be like a very serious thing. It's just like something they created for Fox, like they just popped up and appeared one day. Yeah, the text line. Why do you keep saying he's not from here? I guess I don't consider him from here. Like your parents being in America, them giving birth to you in America, and then immediately moving you back to Britain. I just would not consider you to be an American. I don't think he identifies himself as an American in that way. So that's why he's not an American. But I didn't know these rules. I'm learning in real time about these rules. Obviously, everybody's cool with this. Is how we're setting the World Cup up. Hey, don't bother me. I don't care.
Go look at some of the names on the French roster, and they do this game with French provinces in Africa. It's their go-to move.
Okay, hey, shout out to him. I mean, he's our best player. I mean, he was pretty good when I watched him play a couple of days ago. He scored 2 goals, 1 goal.
I believe he's 5th right now in the Golden Boot.
Okay, no, salute to him. No, and you got him winning, right?
I got him winning tomorrow, 2-0. Although Christian might not play, but they'll still win tomorrow, 2-0.
So on the text line says, see, you sound like a Trumper. Deport him. I can't deport somebody that's not here. What are we talking about? I never said that. I just said they took him back. I know we don't got to deport them, man. They moved to where they were actually from. All right, let's move on. All right, let's talk about this with the New York Knicks. I was really happy to see the Knicks fans so happy today. I really was. I was happy to see how happy they were. And it reminded me of a time that we used to be happy like this. Rob, we were talking about this earlier. For the most part, sports fandom is way more negative than it is positive. Way more negative than positive. You are going to have way more heartbreaking losses than wins that just rally you and remember. Like, those are the stories that stick with you the longest. But the hope is for every single sports fan, the hope is that you cheer for a team long enough that eventually you get your day in the sun. And your day in the sun can be of varying degrees of things. Like, Rob, you've never seen Kansas football win the national championship, but going to the Orange Bowl and going to the BCS and being able to say that you won one of those bowl games, that's your version of a championship. That all of the nonsense makes it worth it for that one thing, for that crown, for that achievement at the end of it. Today was the Knicks' day. 53 years in between winning a championship. And I think it was just kind of cool to see how much the championship meant to so many people. Certainly a proud New Yorker like the Ballaghan guy you were just telling me about, grew up a lifelong Knicks fan. You know what I mean? Just grew up going to games in Madison Square Garden and went to Abraham Lincoln High School like he was Jesus Shuttlesworth. So no, it was just really cool to see the Knicks fans so happy with everything.
It is truly, we've been lucky to have several parade days here in Kansas City. They truly are a unifying moment for a city. Like, as a city, we might not agree on a lot. But you know what we agree on? When the Royals are good, it's good. When the Chiefs are good, it's good. In New York, they agree on less because they have two teams in football and in baseball. But when the Knicks are good, it brings everyone together. And to your point about the happiness, it was great to see sports being the unifying moment it's supposed to be. Too often we get caught up and mired in, hot take culture and I can't like this player because he beat my team. It's fun to see when a city comes together to support the team that did something great. We've been very lucky in Kansas City to see it several times. Good for New York, good for the Knicks. They are now public enemy number one in the NBA, but that's not a sport people in Kansas City care about.
Do you feel better about the way that Kansas got blown out at the Super Regional now seeing that Oklahoma made it to the finals of the College World Series?
And they're absolutely just running through people.
Smoking people. They've been smoking people for the last 2 weeks.
I've been watching. I was like,
I actually did keep an eye on it yesterday. I did see that.
It's like, the NCAA tournament, you know what I want to see the team that beats Kansas do? Make a run. Please don't be out in one more round. I wanted to see St. John's this year beat Duke. Make a run. Make it all worth it. That's what I cheer for. So it does make me feel better about how the Super Regionals went to see Oklahoma just absolutely run through Omaha.
I want to play one more thing for you guys. We talked about this a little bit yesterday. We just didn't really have a whole lot of time to get to it. Tomorrow, the World Cup Committee is going to have a press conference. The press conference is going to be about the serious traffic issues that we saw heading to Arrowhead.
We just got an update from KC26 Transportation saying they are aware of delays affecting some transport services across the network, and they're working with their transport partners to restore to normal operations. Now, they didn't specify what specific routes, but we are expecting those delays today with the Stadium Direct. But something I've been hearing all day is where people's concerns lied. Now, starting with the Region Direct, though, today we saw really smooth sailing. So within the last week of these buses operating, one bus driver told me that at least 3 of the buses had to get fixed and taken off the route. But there are 247 buses that are operating throughout the metro for this. And I want to reiterate that KC26 just shared that they are trying to resume operations back to normal as they've been having some transit issues today. And we have been expecting that with Stadium Direct. More.
I think the World Cup was an A+ in almost every single category a couple of days ago. The big problem was traffic. It was the front page of the Kansas City Star. I know that doesn't hold the same weight that it did 15 years ago because newspapers have gone extinct in some ways. But yeah, the problem that needs to be fixed the biggest in relation to the World Cup is they got to find a better, more efficient way to get people to and from the game. We're off until Monday. Happy Juneteenth. Take care of yourself. It's The Drive.
Ladies and gentlemen, The Weekend.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison